My name is Button Gwinnett. Yes, friend, that is my real name. I am one of only 8 signers of the Declaration of Independence not born in North America. But I gave my voice, my loyalty, and my life to America. Because this great land of opportunity gave everything to me. I was a leading citizen of Georgia and helped write the state's constitution. During the Revolution, I sought command of Georgia's battalion, but much to my dismay, that commission went to Lachlan McIntosh. From that moment, we were rivals. He mocked me in public, called me a scoundrel and a lying rascal, so I did what honor demanded. I challenged him to a duel. 12 paces, 2 shots. He lay wounded. I lay dying. Upon news of my death, fellow signer Lyman Hall wrote this about me. His whole attention, influence, and interest seemed riveted to liberty. I died for honor, but I lived for independence. Let that be the part worth remembering.
And the Supreme Court tomorrow is going to hear arguments about your executive order trying to get rid of birthright citizenship.
And I'm going.
You're going to go to the Supreme Court tomorrow.
So. I do.
And just sit there and listen.
Because I have listened to this argument for so long, and this is not about Chinese billionaires or billionaires from other countries who all of a sudden have 75 children or 59 children in one case or 10 children becoming American citizens. This was about slaves. And if you take a look, slaves, we're talking about slaves from the Civil War. And if you take a look at when it was filed, all of this legislation, all of this, everything having to do with birthright citizenship, it was at the end of the Civil War. The reason was it had to do with the babies of slaves and the protection of the babies of slaves. It didn't have to do with the protection of multi-millionaires and billionaires wanting to have their children get an American citizenship. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's been so badly handled by legal people over the years. If you look at the original birthright citizenship papers, they all happened right after the Civil War. The reason was it had to do with the babies of slaves. And hopefully it's going to say, because our country is being scammed. We're getting all of these people, they're selling the rights to them. People are making a living, a big living, getting hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars from bringing people in and saying, congratulations, your whole family is going to be a citizen of the United States of America. That's not what it was for. It wasn't for billionaires bringing people in or family in. It was for the children of slaves. And what you really have to do, and I don't think the lawyers talk about it as much, look at when the Civil War ended and look at the date of when this was enacted. Okay.
Have you ever been to the Supreme Court before? Is this going to be the first time going to the Supreme Court?
No, I went once before, the opening of the Supreme Court in the last administration.
And which justices will you be listening for most closely?
I love a few of them. I don't like some others.
This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world.
Cameras on, we're going going live tonight. American pride and patriot fight. The white rabbit has taken flight. Knock, knock, sleepy Neo, this is for real. We're swallowing red pills left and right. Come and overdose with us Tuesday night. They say we're crazy, say we've gone too far, but we're just truth seekers under the dome. Don't be mad at us, Google Chrome. They laugh, they mock, they think we're insane. Please just use your effing brain. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines. They say we're crazy, they say I've gone too far, ready to drown us with feathers and tar. If you're still in our country, we haven't gone far enough. They love to hate us, thinking we've gone insane, but we could care less, they don't know our pain. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines. This is who we are, we bleed red, white, and blue. We're never gonna stop Trinity. This ain't no place for sensitivity, not even worried about our credibility. When it's all in flames, don't call me to light the flare. Don't call me to light the flare, because no one is coming to save us, Jesus Christ. Don't call me to light the flare. But if I say Christ is king, oops, I'm anti-Semitic too. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines.
Hello, everybody. We up and we early. We got Leonard, we got Beau Booth, we got Jimmy Bell in the house. What's good?
What's up, Ruby? How you doing this evening, dear?
Oh, so much better after the theme song. So yeah, PSA, if you don't like it, leave now. Okay? Don't watch. Leave now. This ain't a place for your sensitivities. So if you want to join, get ready. Because I'm ready. I'm fired up. And
Hey, isn't this the 100th episode?
Oh.
What's up with your volume? Your volume's being stupid.
No, that's just me. It's the pitch of my voice. It gets crazy, right?
Is
Is it good now? Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good now.
Okay, no, that's me because I was freaking out. Yo,
Okay.
it's the 100th.
Oh wait, you gotta clap. It's hard to see the camera.
Yeah, she did quite a few episodes before I joined her. So I think
Yeah,
together
that's
we're
right.
like
That's
this is our
right.
55th episode, I think. Something like that.
Yeah. Listen, don't even start with me. I already forgot. I'm not gonna start talking all over again.
I'll
I don't
remind you.
care.
I'll go back and look.
Yo,
Mhm.
no, hold on. Sorry, Leonard, I'm gonna let you go right now. Hold on. So you know, guys, chat, pay attention. Do you know how Jimmy says that we're on 2 different economies? Well, the UPC is on 2 different timelines, and Jimmy's timeline is different than my timeline. So
Yep.
I've been streaming for way more than Jimmy has been here for. Okay. So for all of the people that said, "Oh, well, she wouldn't have an audience if it wasn't for Jimmy." Okay, I was here way before Jimmy. Okay,
Yep.
all
Yep.
right. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm talking to nobody. Oh my
Now you're
word.
talking to the haters.
Go ahead, Leonard. Go ahead.
I just want to say happy 100th episode, and I have been here since day one with
Yup.
Ruby and Jimmy.
Yup.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yup.
wow, I really have been a part of this since day one.
Yes, you have.
And it's
Yes, you
like,
have.
woo,
Yeah.
wow.
And
And I'm just, go ahead, Jimmy.
I was just going to say we want to thank the chat too, because there's a lot of people in the
Yeah.
chat that have been here since we
Yeah.
began.
And I also want to say, happy, I know it's late, but happy Easter to everyone. Easter is my favorite holiday. It's my
Yeah.
favorite holiday. And I wish I have a question for Ruby as well, because I wish Gigi was on here too, because it's kind of a question to you both, really. So Ruby, with your being a native New Yorker, my favorite season is fall, autumn.
Yeah.
And I'm a type of person, I like the beach and the pier.
Yeah.
And with fall being my favorite season, love to see the browns, the yellows, the golds, the reds, the greens during that time of the year.
Yeah.
So if I were to ever move to New York, where would you recommend I would live?
No, absolutely not. Do not go to New York City. It is a bleep hole. Don't go over there. It is horrible over there. Stay in the South, Leonard. Stay in the South. You're a pure soul. Stay in the South. The North will ruin you and chew you up and throw you out. Don't go over there.
All right. Do you want to give some shout outs to the chat real quick, Ruby? And then we gotta get Beau needs an opening statement, and then I guess we'll get into our program.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so I put the chat on screen. You can see it through Beau's corner. But Gigi's in the chat, John Marciano, JG, Dallas. Okay, we got all the OGs. We got Dan, Jeannie. Who else? Allsy's in the chat. We have Matt here. This is a new user. I haven't seen Matt in a while, so welcome, Matt. And he says,
Appreciate that compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, J-Man, I haven't seen him in a minute. Welcome. Who else? Oh, Slim. I've seen Slim a couple Tuesdays.
Yeah.
We're getting more regulars. That's kind of cool. John Mitchell. Okay, who else? Jimmy's in the chat. Dehydrated Nurse. How you doing? And Nadine. I haven't seen Nadine in a while, so hey, Nadine.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has. Justin from California. Welcome. Oh, Joseph is in the house. Joseph, of course. Who else? Is that it? Did I catch everybody?
I think so. Hey, Ruby, let's go ahead and address before we start tonight. At the end of last week's episode, remember we had that person come on the camera or come on stage.
Okay, yeah.
And made that comment, said that word. You want to take care of that real quick?
Yeah. So we're gonna have to figure out a filtering process, because you know how I'm very free with the platform and I just let anybody up. But from now on, I'm going to talk to you in the private chat if you've never been here before, just to make sure that doesn't happen again, because that person came on and I think it just kind of wanted to rage bait, basically, because they wanted to say something, you know, just for the sound bite. You know what I'm saying? Just to get people riled up. But we don't do that here. We don't rage bait. We don't try to jab one another. We don't do personal attacks. None of that. I mean, it does get hyper because I'm hyper, but we never speak that way on here. I'm trying to keep my
They
channel
didn't call you
safe.
a name, did
They used the N-word.
Yeah,
They
but
use
not
the
directed
N-word.
towards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Last Tuesday, the last few seconds before I took everybody off the stage, he slipped that right in. And I don't think it was directly towards anyone particularly, but it's
No.
like they wanted to cause trouble. Like you could tell they're just trying to, get a reaction out of you, which is why I say rage baiting. And I don't do that. Nothing gets me like that. So
Do you think they're trying to get a strike on you?
yo, for real, like I already
That could be a
had
possibility.
that. So we
I mean,
have
that's what I think. Why would you just show up at the very end of something and then try to like throw down like that?
Yeah.
exactly
Kinda
right.
suspicious.
So a few people just popped in. So really quickly, I'll say hi to Mama Bear. Julian is in the chat. Marty, this is a new username, so welcome, Marty. I don't know if you've been here before, but this person says my new favorite channel. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay. Beau, go ahead. Your introduction or opening statement, if you have one.
Congratulations on 100 episodes. That's
Yay. All right, thank you. So we're gonna let Leonard have the floor. I'm sorry we took so long for the intro, Leonard, but we're gonna go through amendments 3 and amendment 4. If you want, I have it on screen. I could read it out, or if you want to read it, you could read it. Let me know what you want to do, and we'll go over it together.
Okay, I'll read Amendment 4. And Ruby, since you have it already pulled up, just make sure if our amendments are reading the same thing. If not, you can reread it yourself. Amendment 3.
Yeah, start from 3. Go ahead.
No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be Lord, how about to call it something? Prescribed. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Prescribed.
Yeah.
By law. I guess the soldiers had to live on, if they had soldier bases at that time. I can assume they just had to stay on base or find a way home on their own, I assume.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, what this was for was during the Revolutionary War, and even before it broke out, British soldiers would travel across the colonies, and if they wanted to stay somewhere, they would force themselves into that person's house. They would do horrible things to the owner, the family of the owners of those homes. So that's what they were doing, is they were taking these houses for themselves so that they could stay there. So that's why this amendment was put into place, that no soldier in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner. So
right, because they were already doing that. Okay, so there was nothing in place to prevent them from doing that. You see, so they had to write these things because there was nothing in place to protect them.
Correct.
So they were doing whatever they want, whether they liked it or not. You had to support whatever was going on, right? So that gives us the freedom to decline helping soldiers in general. Like, just because they're here doesn't mean you have to feed them, take care of them, house them. Absolutely not. That has nothing to do with us. Like, not imposed on the people, basically.
Go ahead, Leonard.
Now, I think I understand what this is talking about, because before, if I'm not mistaken, it sounds like to me, before the Constitution was ever thought about being written, the soldiers and just ordinary people could just do whatever they wanted to do. There were no laws.
Right.
There were no laws, and honestly, I don't think there was any policemen. If there were any policemen, they really didn't have no say so. They just had to go along with the program.
Right.
Yeah, what I did
That's why
find.
they had... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Go ahead, Ruby.
Well, that's why they had militias. So that would be the local type of police that would police the area. But this is talking about something different. This is talking about soldiers in times of war and stuff like that. So that was to prevent them from imposing themselves in your homes and taking your items, your possessions, everything. That doesn't, they needed to put that in place because that's what was happening before.
Mhm.
What I found interesting in this amendment, it says, but in a manner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. That is kind of an open-ended thing right there. I hope we would never have to worry about that, but it does leave the possibility open that if there was a law passed, that this could happen. But that's never happened before. I don't think the American people would be up for that anyway. So I just found that to be interesting. There's kind of a loophole there, in my opinion.
Okay.
Do y'all read it differently? What do y'all think in the chat?
Yeah, if anybody else has anything, you can add right now. You can chime in. Go ahead.
What you guys were saying, from what I've seen from documentaries and stuff, that is pretty dead on. It was because the soldiers would come in and they would just take the property. They would kick the people who are there out, take their everything, their food, their supplies, and then move on.
Yep.
And basically, they're just basically stealing legally.
Yeah.
Right.
And people are just. I mean, could you imagine this day and age if someone just comes in your house, like just takes everything and then?
That's why we have guns. So the second one already protects you from that. I don't even care if you a soldier in my own country. You ain't coming in my house. I don't know you. Okay. So that protects you from a lot of things, right?
Yep.
We got Diasiss on the stage. He is our special guest for tonight. If you want to chime in, go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get to you in a minute.
Okay, no problem. Hey, everyone.
Okay, great. Okay, awesome. Go ahead, Leonard. Do you want to say something or do you want to go straight to the Fourth Amendment?
Yeah, I have a question about what you said, Ruby, with the right to bear arms and with the soldiers. God forbid if something like that was to happen and a homeowner shoots a soldier, would that homeowner be responsible and be thrown in jail, or would that soldier just had it coming? And that's kind of on the fence with it for me.
Yeah. That's a great question. What do you guys think? I don't know.
My first opinion on that, instinct would be on that, is if we got into a situation to where it was left open to the courts to say, but in a manner to be prescribed by law, if that actually passed and they were able to do that, and a homeowner did what Leonard suggested that homeowner would do, then because a law was passed, that homeowner, in my opinion, would probably be violating that law and can be held up for charges.
Yeah, but there is no law. So
there is no law now.
There is no law, but there is that amendment. So it would protect you. And in the state of Florida, you have the castle laws. So if somebody comes on your property, you have every right to shoot first and ask questions later. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, let's just hope that latter part never has to come into play.
Right. It would be chaos at that point. Because once you go that route, it's kind of like Civil War type stuff, Walking Dead type stuff. And nobody would survive that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has guns. We'll be shooting everybody. So it would accomplish nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to keep it civil, basically.
What's the chat saying about this particular amendment?
Let's see. Joseph says it depends on state law. So I'm glad I mentioned Florida, because that's a great example. Gigi says, look at what they did during the Civil War to plantation owners. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mama Bear says it. Go ahead.
What Gigi said about the Civil War, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I will be writing that down in the composition here, and I would like for us to discuss that as well.
Definitely. We've talked about that multiple times. And please do more research than just the surface level mainstream. Please, I beg you, because that's the whole point of why the Civil War happened the way it did. And a lot of people basically got stolen from because unfortunately those people were property and they were money. So they didn't view them as people, they would view them as property, and they lost out on that. So that was the whole thing. But you know what? Let's digress because that's a whole topic and we could go all night with that one.
Yeah.
British Quartering Act. That's what it was called.
Oh, this amendment?
Well, the reason why it was put in place is because it was the counter a law called the British Quartering Acts.
Oh, it was a counter to a law already, huh?
Yeah, from the
All right.
British.
So what did the British Quartering Act say?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask you guys. I was
Hold
going to ask
on.
Leonard. Leonard,
Yo,
you know what
we don't do none of that British over here. No, we American. I don't care what they said, all right? We already got our independence.
Yeah,
Don't
who
even ask
cares?
those questions.
We won. What they said doesn't matter.
Yeah, who cares? Like, what?
But now I gotta know.
Okay, so write that down. That's your homework, honey, because I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about America.
Oh, it's
okay.
real easy. Sorry, it's real easy. The British Quartering Act. Sorry, you know I can't let that go. The British Quartering Act, 1765, 1774, were parliamentary laws requiring American colonies to provide housing, food, and supplies for British troops. They aimed to reduce costs for the crown after the French and Indian War. While not forcing soldiers into private homes, they caused intense friction, notably in New York, and were seen as taxation without representation.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Same problem, and that's why they had to write it down because
Yeah.
if not, it would have continued the way it was. And no, we were seeking independence. That's what it means. We are
Exactly.
independent. We say what goes. It's not what the king says.
Yep.
All right. So
No kings.
Gigi just joined us.
I was going to add.
Go ahead.
The British required that the colonists house all their soldiers, and that was done in 1765, and that's why the Third Amendment was back to 1765.
Yeah.
But they didn't. Well, I know Leonard's going to bring it up with the Civil War. They certainly didn't abide by that amendment during the Civil War. Okay.
Good point.
Well, they did. Look what they did to all the plantation owners. When the soldiers were hungry and thirsty, they barged in, took their food, the water, stole some of their horses. So and who's gonna uphold to that law back in those days when there's a horrible war going on with both nations? I mean, not nations with colonies.
Right.
I'm sure it's the last thing they were thinking of was the amendment.
Yeah.
Right. So really quickly, we're gonna do Amendment 4, and then we're gonna head to Diasiss because he has we were supposed to do him right now, but we'll do Amendment 4 really quick, and then after that, if you can just drop down and we'll let Diasiss have the stage for a little bit. He's gonna present his case, and then we could come back up to the stage, and then we're gonna have a conversation, not a debate. I won't call it a debate. I'll take it easy on you, but we'll have a nice conversation. Okay.
Amendment 4. The right of the people to secure their persons, houses, papers, and efforts against unreasonable searches and
seizures.
I'm glad. I'm about to call it something else. Shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon.
Please.
Oh Lord, I think I might need glasses.
Probable cause.
Let me see.
Yeah,
but upon probable cause. Yeah, I could finish it. Supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Okay, this is a very important amendment, in my opinion.
Yeah, so this is also in response to what the British were doing to the colonists as well. I mean, every amendment was because the British were violating American citizens. We didn't have rights didn't have the rights at the time, but they were violating just normal things that they should have been allowed to do anyway. So the British were coming in. They were destroying the houses. They were taking people's property. Yeah, they were doing all that stuff. So, and they were taking it for themselves. So that's why the Fourth Amendment was created. So yeah.
But nowadays, the police uses it, okay? And they violate this sometimes because they have to get a warrant to search your house or your car. But now there's a loophole called probable cause. And I don't know if it's extreme of me to say, but I don't care what kind of calls you got. You should not be searching or seizing anything at all because I'm just a freedom extremist.
Well, I would say, to push back on that a little bit, Ruby, I do agree that, if the police want to come in and search your home, they need to have a search warrant and they need to have probable cause. Now, was it because the probable cause helped create the search warrant? Is that why? But let's think about this. If there is a call to a house, let's say you want to do a medical check-in on somebody or a welfare check on somebody.
Right.
And so you got a dad and 3 kids in the house, and the mom, they're estranged. So the mom calls up and says, "Hey, Mr. Police Officers, can you guys go check? Because I think my ex-husband is abusing my kids." So I guess that right there could be considered probable cause. But when the police get there, if they get no answer at the door, but they hear kids crying and screaming, I'm all for letting them go in.
Me too.
Okay. I mean,
because you don't know
this
what
amendment is. Yeah, but this amendment was specifically written to not let that happen without the warrant. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can't just go in there because somebody tipped you off or gave you their opinion. So even if there was, I mean, I don't know. This is the gray area. You see, Leonard, this is why a lot of these conversations, they need to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a different definition. You know what I'm saying? So when you're reading these things, just take into that account, do your research, see how you feel about this. What's your opinion on this? And then you move forward, because how many times has there been people busting in people's houses and then they shoot the person by accident, like Breonna Taylor, or I think that was her name. And then they start this whole thing. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. Sometimes it causes chaos.
That's why there's constitutional lawyers.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
All right. Any final thoughts before we move on to Diasiss?
Yes. I'm just going to say the Bill of Rights makes up the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. And Jimmy was right. Just to add to that, there's the legislation part of it, which makes the laws, the executive that carries out the laws, and the judicial that interprets the laws. So, and it's been 800 years of constitutional rights with the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution.
How many years?
And it's all from the beginning of the Revolutionary War.
How many years? Did you say how many?
800 years altogether. So it goes way back to the Revolutionary War. That's where the First Amendment came into play. Then you had the Second Amendment with the right to bear arms, and then you have the Third Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. And the First Amendment is the most important because there's 5 rights that were put in the First Amendment. The first right is the freedom of religion. The second one's the freedom of speech. The third one's the freedom of the press. The fourth one is the freedom to assembly. And the fifth one is the freedom for the right to petition. And I'm sure they have addendums to all those as the years have gone by, and especially in today's day and age with the freedom of speech, with especially as in lieu of all the protesting and stuff. Do you have the right to assembly peacefully? Yes, but not violently.
Right. Gigi, I gotta say something though. It was only like 250 to 260 years ago.
Well, according to the lawyer, who's a constitutional lawyer, he said 800.
Okay, 1700 plus 800 is 25.
Well, he said it goes back 800 years. I don't know. I'll have to question.
Maybe it was drafted, he meant, and it wasn't like ratified till later. Maybe. I mean, that's
it couldn't have been drafted. There was no colonies 800 years ago.
How do you know? Were you there?
I don't know.
No,
I'll
I'm
have to
kidding.
go back.
The first
Let's go back
was
and talk to him.
1607. Jamestown.
Well, how many years did you come up
1607.
with? How many years did you come up with?
You know, they say George Washington wasn't the first president. Like there was presidents before him.
But I'm
So,
going with
okay,
the year.
like
I'm a numbers guy here. Jamestown was in 1607.
Okay.
right.
So the 800
Let me
years.
get my calculator out.
Oh gosh. Let's okay. While you guys do that, Beau, the final thoughts because we do have to move to Diasiss. I'm so
I was just gonna say, Ruby, when you guys
Thank you,
are talking
Jimmy, for
about
correcting me.
people
Thanks for
breaking in
correcting
your
me.
house,
Uh-huh.
my thing is though, if someone comes in your house, dude,
Mhm.
they're gonna get blasted.
Oh, I
That's what
agree.
should happen. Because
Right.
you don't know
right.
who they are, especially if you're sleeping
Right.
and you don't hear them, and all of a sudden,
Right.
boom, your door open, and you see people in a dark costume. You don't know who it is. You just
Exactly.
waste them. That's what you should do. You should think
And
about your
that's
family
what
first,
happens a
waste
lot
them,
of times.
and then figure out the problem.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right, real quick, a roundabout Aussie. Okay, I can get down with this. She said it was part of the Magna Carta. Now the Magna Carta.
There we go.
Now that I can get down with because that was like in 1215.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Right.
So that would be 800 years.
Okay.
Okay.
So I
So
can,
we're both right.
I can I can get down with that.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Leonard. Yep.
And I just want to say, I'm glad you all brought up the 13 colonies because after we finish with the amendments, that's the next thing when my turn comes back up. That's the next thing that we're going to discuss. So
You already
just
dictating my show, damn.
just slow down and hold the thoughts on the 13 colonies.
Okay.
I'm
got
waiting
you.
I'm waiting for Leonard to start his own YouTube channel now.
Yo, it was lit, Leonard.
Thanks, Leonard.
Thank you, Leonard. Oh
Thank
my
you.
word.
Thank
All
you,
right, I'm gonna
Leonard.
put you guys can stay. I'm just gonna put you backstage and then we're gonna move on to
Okay.
the next topic. But thank you so much, Gail, for joining. Thank you, Leonard. I love you guys. You guys make me laugh so much. So sorry if I'm a little all over the place, all right? But we got can you please tell me how to pronounce your name? I'm so sorry. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, so it's Diasiss.
Diasiss.
Instead of Diasiss.
Diasiss. All right. I make no promises. I don't think I'm gonna remember that, but we got you here. I'm gonna just call you D. Hey D, what's up?
That works.
Okay, all right. So D wants to talk a little bit about Iran. Now, I did read your posts, but I want to give you the floor to kind of just bring it up yourself and give us your opinion first, and then we could chime in. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Absolutely, no problem. Can you hear me okay? Is
It's
it
a
coming
little
through
low,
good?
but we can hear you all right.
You
Yeah.
still a little low?
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
I could also hire it from here, so let me know.
Okay, hold on one second.
Oh my word. Yeah, and I smoked a cigarette before coming here, so I felt really, really mellow.
So when I do this, that's where I'm going. Is I'll be going to go smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
How does it sound? Is it picking up pretty good?
Yeah, you go ahead.
we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just really want to talk about this Iran war because I feel like we're hearing a lot of one-sided news from our media. And I mean, granted, all sides are going to say their side is winning. Usually every side is going to say, hey, we're winning, we're doing good, they're doing terrible, and vice versa. But I feel like not enough people are really talking about the Iran war right now. I'm seeing a lot of people post up stuff of, pictures of food and fun and funny stuff. And it's like, we're damn near in World War III. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about what's happening in Cuba right now and how we're starving them out. I don't know if you know this, but, here within the last 24 hours, looking at Trump's most recent post where he talks about how he's going to comply with their 10 guidelines. I don't know if America realizes we've lost this war. We have effectively surrendered to Iran.
What? Where'd you read that?
Well, a lot of sources. I'll show you.
Yeah, you can share your screen if you want. I think it'll allow you. Just hit the plus sign at the bottom there, and you can share screen.
Well, the problem is that I'm looking on my computer right now.
Oh, okay, no problem.
All right, so Midas Touch, which, as we probably know, hard left. I get it. I do realize that different parties can be very biased towards the other parties, but I believe this to be generally true because I'm hearing it from multiple sources. All right, so they had a commitment to non-aggression. Okay, Iran, 10 of their demands were a commitment to non-aggression. I want to highlight just a couple of them, though, so we don't take forever here. I'm going to keep it really brief, fast, and to the point.
Yep.
So acceptance of uranium enrichment. One of the main things that we supposedly went over there for, that a lot of people died for, that I feel like we got humiliated over, was to stop the enrichment of uranium. Well, after America has tried their damnedest to defeat the Iranians, they couldn't. And now Trump, after saying he was going to end their civilization, or he implied that civilization was going to end, but I think a lot of us kind of got the gist of what that meant. He's now agreeing to all of their demands. And I think that says a lot, not only about us, but about the capability of Iran. That means that none of our strategic objectives were achieved. None of them. Because one of the main ones was to stop the enrichment of uranium. Well, Trump has even said, even on his own Twitter, okay, we're going to comply with their 10 reasonable. I mean, it's like a total say you surrender without saying you surrendered. I personally don't think that we should have ever been over there in the first place. I talked to Jimmy about it earlier. We were going back and forth a little bit, and we completely disagree. I'm glad that we were respectful towards each other, and I try to be respectful. But I mean, I think it's fair to say we feel very differently about this. But he'd been my colleague for years, and I just wanted to chime in and pick his brain a little bit. And we were just talking about it earlier. And I just feel like this has been just a disaster and humiliation for us.
Okay, I got one question before we move on, because I know Beau is gonna have a say. Diamond Dave, welcome to the stage. Gail's back, and Jimmy.
I've got stuff to say about.
Oh, I know
too.
you do.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, Dave. Like, you really saved me tonight. No, I'm just joking. So, first question: why do you call this a war? Has it actually been declared a war, and why so?
Well, I think that when we are using military aircraft carriers, missiles, trying to get boots on the ground over there, trying to invasion, them destroying our jets, humiliating us, and fighting back, Russia helping Iran with a lot of tactical intelligence, and China possibly getting involved, and all of NATO, as far as I know, not wanting to come to the aid of America. I feel, in my personal opinion, it is common sense that we're at war. We got two nations duking it out, trying to obliterate, in Trump's words, obliterate each other. I think it's safe to say we're at war.
I was going to jump in real quick because I would say it's a war because even though Congress did not officially declare war, this is a war of ideology. This is a war of even nation building, because Trump in the beginning was talking about liberating the Iranians from a regime, right? And so the way I interpret that is there's different kinds of warfare. There's declared warfare, there's economic warfare, there's asymmetrical warfare, there's cyber warfare, and there's ideological warfare. And I am of the opinion this would fall under the ideological side because the powers that be in America do not like the way the regime that they installed in the 50s is now behaving, and now they're trying to change it back again. This
Good
is
point.
Vietnam
Good
2.0.
point. Good point. That was a great point, Dave. Jimmy, go ahead, chime in. Or Beau, yeah, go ahead. Anybody.
So
Mhm.
We'll go after Jimmy.
To follow up with Dave, yeah, this is definitely an information war. We've been saying it for a long time. I guess you could say information, ideological. That could be the same thing, in my opinion. But for the most part, for me, yeah, I know a lot of people are calling it a war. I'm thinking that, in my opinion, this is more of an operation, a military operation. And the reason I say that is because there have been several presidents that have done things. Bill Clinton, 1999, Kosovo bombing campaign, 98, Operation Desert Fox, 1995, Bosnia NATO airstrikes, 1993 to 94, Somalia operations. Then you had Barack Obama, 2011, with Libya intervention, 2009 to 2017, drone attacks in Pakistan, 2014 to 2017, air campaigns against ISIS, and 2011 raid killing Osama bin Laden. So did the media and did the people of America call those incidents wars? No, they called them operations. So that's why. Yeah, or conflict. They never said war. So that's why I don't view this as a war. Now, if ground troops went in from our side and ground troops went in there, then it would fall in line as a war, because then that would look like the Iraqi war. Everybody calls that the Iraqi war, Gulf Storm, whatever.
War.
Thank you, Gulf War. So that was because we had troops landing on those places. So far, we do not have boots on the ground militarily in Iran.
Can I ask about your opinion about we're getting decimated or lose? Like, you're aware that they don't have a Navy, they don't have an Air Force, they don't have airfields anymore. And as far as their actual, like they have mobile missile launchers, most of the radar system is completely decimated and gone. And then on top of that, their own people were helping the Americans, and that's why they cut out the internet. How do you? I mean, I'm just curious. How do you see we're losing when they've lost basically 90% of their military?
I can jump in on this point. Well,
I mean, I can
jump
see
in
from a
at
money
this point.
perspective with the missiles that we've used and wasted.
Well,
I can
that's
understand
part.
that.
Yeah, that's part of it. I wouldn't say the U.S. is losing, and this is why I called it Vietnam 2.0. I would say it's more of a stalemate, because it's not a one-to-one comparison. America's going for brute force, but Iran is fighting asymmetrically. It's attacking bases all around, attempting attacks on Navy ships, but it's attacking American targets and its neighbors. It's targeting desalination plants, which will make millions of people without water. So it's not a matter of losing, it's adopting a more like asymmetric fighting style. And this is what it has done historically with Persia, because Persia is the only country to successfully, other than China, fend off the Mongolian Empire. I live in Mongolia. They also survived against the Romans. Now, the ancient Romans and the Mongolians both had superior numbers and brute force. So they're adapting that asymmetrical style. I would agree the U.S. isn't losing, but for Trump to turn around despite using that brute force and say, yeah, we're going to do what you want, that doesn't look good. And on top of that, like, Iran has done a huge amount of damage. Like, I've been seeing a lot of reports of like troops being evacuated from military bases. Their families are being evacuated. They're flying out on civilian airlines, right? And that's not a look that looks good for America at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, I call it Vietnam 2.0 because there was an intended objective. That objective has clearly not been met. And, Iran is still launching missiles at the end of the day. Iran is still shooting out missiles. It's got plenty more to go.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's saying, oh, there's been a regime change. It's like, well, apparently not, because they're still blasting the shit out of us.
Well, and on top of that, see, on top of that, there isn't a regime change because, okay, you killed the Ayatollah and you killed a couple people around him. Cool. But the overall regime is more than just two people. It's the entire structure under them. And curiously, the Iranian people are not revolting. I saw an article from, I think it was from like the BBC or something, but there are Iranian civilians forming human chains around their
What, we lose volume?
power plants. Yeah, around their power plants.
That's why he's
So-
not going to blow it up, because killing a bunch of civilians is going to be really, really bad when election time comes.
Well, he's already
True, yeah, but true. But to your point, there isn't even a regime change because
I mean,
like,
he's talking about ending civilization.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
Okay,
way-
hold on.
Hang on.
Yeah,
Let's
hold on.
let's
Hold
stay
on.
on point, 'cause I want to touch something here real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
One of the reasons why the Iranian people are not out there in the streets like we saw them about 6 months ago is because they have been told by the IRGC, which are the paramilitary group that's basically running Iran right now. They have told the citizens they will be shot if they go in the streets.
How do we know that?
Because that has been reported many times on different platforms.
Well,
So-
but what else has been reported is Trump has actually sent arms to the people to try and get them to revolt. And what are they doing? They're taking the arms and joining the IRGC. They're not revolting. They're just taking the stuff, which curiously reminds me of Afghanistan and Iraq. ISIS, remember, America, as an example, trained Osama bin Laden and gave him weapons. And what did he do? He went after
Right.
America. We did that with, the Iraqis to fight. And what did they become? Well, they became...
There is one thing I do want to say here in a minute, too.
But they became ISIS. And now we're doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And what are they doing? They're either taking the weapons and just keeping it for themselves, or what I'm seeing...
Can anyone
across
hear
multiple
me?
channels.
Yeah, I can hear you, D. I want to ask D this question real quick too. It's a two-part question. First off, does anybody know how many American military men have died in this conflict?
Too many.
How many?
I think two.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, do you know?
Well, I mean, first off, I'll say too many because none of them had to die because we shouldn't have never been there in the first place.
Okay, that's
From
fair.
what I've heard, maybe 13, but then of course other sources are saying that they're downplaying the numbers because we've just been decimated over there and they're trying their best to not report basically how much we've been humiliated by this stupidity, in my opinion. By the way, to get back to what you said earlier, war as defined is an intense, organized, and armed conflict between states, governments, or organized groups, often involving protracted military campaigns and high fatalities. It represents a state of hostility or a continuation of policy using armed forces. So yes, we are at war.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, technically, yeah, somebody can agree with you based on that definition, but it hasn't been declared. It's not something that America is putting their word into it and saying that we're going to do this to this group of people or this country.
George Carlin said it best. George Carlin said it best. Change the nature of condition.
It's still happening.
Yeah, I mean, change the nature of the condition. We're not at war. It's just a military operation. America doesn't have bribery. It just has corporate lobbying.
Exactly. And that's what I
It's the
mean
same
by
thing.
that. Yeah.
The other question I would like to ask the panel is, do y'all think that this Iranian situation started just with Donald Trump?
No.
No, it started back in the 50s when America was stupid enough to meddle in the Middle
I think
East.
Israel started it.
I mean, they've had a beef since forever. That's none of our business.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got no argument for that. That's
a forever thing.
It's just throat since day one.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I've got some information, after D says what he wants to say and everything. I've got some stuff I want to share with you guys on the historical aspect of what's going on with Iran, because everybody's saying, well, Iran's not a threat to America. Iran is just over there minding his business, and here we are over there just taking their oil. Yeah, that is so far not so far from
Minding their own business? Never.
Yeah, exactly.
That's ridiculous.
But there's a lot of people that feel that way.
Well, yeah, and I mean the interesting thing about that, and this is something that I actually saw back in the news in the States, was that I believe it was San Francisco was
Hey,
warning,
real quick,
like
guys. I'm not sure if something with my sound, but I cannot hear Diamond Dave for some reason every time he talks.
Hop off and hop back on because we can all hear you.
Yeah.
I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, no problem.
Okay.
Sorry, Dave.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, yeah, it's all good. So I find it interesting because I saw like the FBI was warning, I believe it was San Francisco, about how Iran might use drones to attack it. And I thought that was kind of hilarious because Iran does not have that capability, right? In order to go from Iran, you have to launch a drone over me through China across the Pacific Ocean. And
Do you know what they said about it, though? The background behind that? They claimed that they had their own submarine, and the submarine was acting as the delivery point for the drones. So they were claiming that Iran has a submarine that's so sophisticated that it bypassed U.S. radar and then it was able to launch drones into our airspace. Which, by the way, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, that's not true. I've already talked about this before, but I know somebody that was involved with those drones, and those drones were used as like they were showing off to a company, and it came out later that company talked about it. Those drones that were flying around that we all were saying they were aliens and people were shooting at them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the government was saying, don't shoot at them, and they wouldn't explain why. Well, it was because it was a government project where they were trying to get a company to join a government project. For drones.
And I wouldn't be a bit surprised that the deep state faction of the United States wouldn't use something like that to try to build the narrative that we were being attacked by Iran.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Iran, in my opinion, does not have. They have the drone technology, but they don't have the ability to build submarines that are more high tech than the United States.
Correct. Yeah, they do not. They do not have that capability whatsoever. So I think that's just.
When I heard that, I was like, no, that's just propaganda. That's completely made up. They just want to go to war. That's immediately what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so Diasiss is back. Can you hear everybody now on the stage?
I think so. Say something, Diamond. Diamond Dave.
Yo.
All right.
Okay, great.
I don't know. Must have been a glitch.
Yeah, it was definitely. So, any other opinions you want to bring forth, D? Because my next follow-up question would have been, because I agree with you 1,000%. We should have never gotten ourselves involved since day one. I'm an isolationist. I'm anti-war. I'm America first. You already know me. So I agree with you. But if they do pose a threat to us because they do scream death to America, you don't think that that's problematic and that we need to take care of them?
Well, the only time I would be supportive towards war is if I really am convinced that there is a force out there that really does pose a threat. I love America. I am probably 8th generation American. I love my culture, my people, what it stands for. And I mean everybody. I mean, when I say my people, I'm not talking about just me and what I look like. I'm talking about white people, black people. I'm talking about rock music. I'm talking about jazz. I'm talking about everything. Everything that makes us is special to me.
But they want to take us out, is what I'm saying. So if somebody wants to take you out, are you just going to sit there and just wait for something to happen? Or are you going to be proactive and protect yourself?
Well, okay, so that's a good question. Now, what I've looked up is that Iran, although they hated us, did not really pose any kind of an imminent threat. That's what I have seen. At first, it was that they posed an imminent threat. And then I just AI chat GPT Googled it the other day, just half-assed it, and said, Iran posed a threat, but not an imminent threat. And so I'm like, well, we shouldn't have went over there. I mean, we haven't found we haven't gotten their uranium. We haven't found any weapons of mass destruction. And if they were ever going to use it, I feel like they already would have, especially since we've been bombing the shit out of them. I feel like they already would have did it, feeling like they've got nothing to lose. because America, even though I feel it has been defeated in Iran, is still not the kind of motherfuckers you want to. Okay, I don't know if I can cuss on this show, but
I think you're good.
okay, yeah,
Go ahead.
just, America's not the nation you want to fuck with. I mean, everybody knows that. So, do I believe that they were an imminent threat? No. Do I definitely support, attacking people who are imminently threatening us? Oh, hell yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So to kind of keep going off of that, right? Like, were they a threat? Maybe, but you have to keep in mind that, like, this entire time, America had military bases completely surrounding Iran, and Iran does not have the capability to hit the U.S. mainland. So my thinking on that is, are they a threat? Not really. They're just like that nerdy kid on Facebook who talks a bunch of shit but can't do anything about it. Right?
No, I think you're underestimating them.
How do we explain?
They have missiles that can go 4,000 kms.
Yeah,
that's all. That's all. They can be shot down, especially by the United States.
They do have long-range missiles. You put a nuke on there, or
so does
you sneak
China.
a nuke over.
I mean, so
I
does
know, but
China.
China's a totally different thing than Iran. I mean, Iran is people. I mean, I know China is not the greatest thing on earth, but I mean, we're talking about an ideology that wants suicide and wants certain races completely annihilated so that Armageddon can come.
Correct.
I mean, this is an ideology.
China wants
you're fighting,
all of that
not just
minus the
military.
Armageddon. China wants that minus the Armageddon, right?
Right.
But China's willing to go to that point.
But going back to the threat of them to the Americans, what do we tell our veterans who fought over in Iraq and lost limbs because of Iranian-made roadside bombs that were put there? What do we say?
Have been there?
What do we say?
Yeah.
What do we say to the innocent folks in other countries that have been terrorized by the Houthis, Hezbollah, and Hamas, who have been funded by the Iranian regime, which has gotten their money from American taxpayer dollars? What do we say to that?
Oh, about the American taxpayer dollars? Yeah, I'm with you.
No. What do we say to these people?
Be.
What do we say to these people when people say, "Oh, well, Iran's not a threat"? What do we say to those people when they've actually lost? They've lost their lives.
I was specifically talking about to America because Ruby was chanting death to America. They're not a threat to America. Are they a threat to neighbors?
That's
sure.
what they saying. Don't shoot the messenger.
Iran and Iraq, they've been fighting for so long, and like they're Shia, and a lot of the Middle East is Sunnis. So even if we weren't involved, they would still be fighting each other because that's what Muslims do.
So
that's how their
so would your view on that change?
That's a really good breakdown.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So would the view on that change if Iran was capable of having and had a nuclear weapon? Would you say then that they're not a threat to America?
Correct. And you know why? Because look at 9/11. I don't I was going to say, forget. Like, I remember 9/11. I saw Muslim women on TV having like acid dumped on their faces, and a Muslim girl at my school got gang raped because she was a Muslim at 9/11. If Iran did something, the blowback would be so catastrophic. We went into Iraq, 2 million civilians died. We went into Afghanistan, a shit ton more of civilians died.
But that was an inside job, and we already know that, Dave.
Yeah,
so
but
that was only sham.
I agree with that.
But the point is, the call for blood would be so massive that it wouldn't just affect Iranians there; it would affect all Muslims here in the U.S.
And that's why they need to get out of here and go back to their country. That's the whole point of America First. And it's not just them. I mean, this happened with the Japanese people too, right? So that's the whole point of why I hold my positions, because these things happen. And I do agree, but with both of you guys. But at the end of the day, if we already put our foot there, we can't just let go. That's not how America operates. That's just not what we do. So we have to finish the job, unfortunately.
Well, like in Vietnam or Afghanistan, like that. See, this is the problem I see that America makes, because with that mentality of we need to finish the job in Vietnam, guess what? Vietnam, still communist. Afghanistan, guess
but those
what? The
presidents
Taliban
weren't there long
is-
enough to finish it. So unfortunately, I don't think we have enough time for
Well,
it.
it's not that.
Plus,
Well,
those
that goes
wars were
back to
fabricated.
what I was saying earlier. Is the people wanted to be communists? It wasn't just the Viet Cong. Today, people in Vietnam hate capitalism.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I've been to Vietnam. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They hate
yeah, but that's
capitalism.
brainwashing. I mean, what? They want to be communists? Who said that?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
Oh,
no,
them-
everybody
they do.
wants
I
to
mean,
be free.
even-
Everybody wants to be
No.
free and should be
no,
free.
I would disagree with that. No, I
What?
live in Mongolia. I live in Mongolia. Do you know why the MPP is so like powerful? It's because Mongolians want to bring back the Soviet era laws. Do you know
so
that
you're gonna say the
people-
same thing about Iran, that all the women do want Sharia law or whatever the heck they have to cover up their bodies? Are you gonna say that they want that too?
I wouldn't say all, because there are obviously a lot that
Okay,
are,
stop, get
but
outta here,
there
get outta
are but there are those that are supporting
No,
it.
no, no,
There
no,
are those that are
that's
supporting it. You can find them.
propaganda, and I don't believe in none of it. Okay, if we are gonna promote freedom as Americans, then I'm on board. We promote freedom, we free those
Yep.
women, and they'll have rights. They can drive, they can show their skin, whatever.
I can
I
agree
wouldn't.
with
I
that.
wouldn't say
mean,
that they want to be under that.
yeah,
Can I make a
feel
comment
like-
about? Can I
I
make a
think when-
comment that everybody's not realizing what's going on? Don't
Yeah.
forget the midterms are coming in November. The World Cup is coming too, and Trump needs to make peace before the World Cup shows up in the midterms, because right now he's not faring well with the American people, and this is a good one for the Democrats, because if this war keeps going, it's not going to fare well for Trump, because they're already talking about impeaching Trump, and also indicting him as well by 2027. So don't forget the midterms for the Democrats are coming up, and Trump needs to do something, and he needs to do it fast before the World Cup starts.
Destroying
I will-
civilian nuclear plants, destroying nuclear plants in itself is considered. That's really, really frowned upon. It's absolute, like the United Nations, even though I think they're stupid. It's a war crime.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Let me. Can
Yeah.
I share? Can I with that thought? Can I
Because
share
it's
a video?
the nuclear fallout from doing that can affect more than
Yeah.
just Iran.
The whole world.
Yeah,
Let
it's
me-
really dangerous. I
Let
mean,
me
even
share-
even I'm not for that, and I want us to go there and just whoop Iran's ass. But I don't want to blow up the nuclear power plants, because I don't want the radioactivity going over in the atmosphere and polluting the countries next to us, and them hating our guts.
Mhm.
I want to share something I
Yeah.
saw this evening right before we came on, in line with what you just said, Beau. And it's about 3.5 minutes or so. We can listen to this and then get everybody's take on it, because I thought this guy brought out some really good points here. So let me go share my screen. Let me go here.
But
All right.
you know, we're hearing the whole, oh, this is a war crime to target their bridges. It's a war crime to target their power infrastructure. No, it's not. To be clear, it is not. There is a core legal principle at play here. It's called dual use targeting. That's all that we're talking about. In fact, we targeted a bridge just last week, and we were, look, we're going after the infrastructure. This is hurting the Iranian people. A bridge that's used by the military to transport missiles, to transport Iranian military equipment. We can absolutely target that under international humanitarian law, which is very clear. If the infrastructure is serving both military and civilian purposes, they can be lawfully targeted if you argue that this is a genuine military advantage with minimal civilian harm by doing so. That's what the law actually says. Now, there's an argument about disproportionality. This is the only time we talk about disproportionality arguments and say, okay, it kind of makes sense. In this case, it does. But just go back not too long ago. Go back to 1999. You know what happened in 1999 with the Clinton administration? Say Serbia.
I was going to say Kosovo, but yeah.
Then Yugoslavia.
Serbia, then Yugoslavia.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was. There was a 78-day NATO bombing of Yugoslavia. The Clinton administration explicitly aimed, and I went and looked this back up because I wanted the exact quote. They explicitly aimed to, quote, demolish, destroy, devastate, degrade, and ultimately eliminate the essential infrastructure of Serbia. And what were the targets? Power plants, oil facilities, bridges, factories, water supplies. Was that a war crime? Now, maybe some people at the time said it was a war. Oh, fair enough. But I don't recall making the claim that Bill Clinton was a war criminal. I don't recall any Democrats doing that. I don't remember NATO having anything to say about that. And understand that NATO struck electrical power transformer stations, justifying them as part of a key integrated air defense and military command system that Serbian forces were using. So let's be clear. This was even reviewed by the International Criminal Tribunal for Yugoslavia. They reviewed the entire thing. You know what they decided not to do? Open any kind of war crime investigation. They accepted that the targets had legitimate military utility. What happened during 2014 to 2016 with the Obama administration? Thousands of airstrikes against ISIS. Thousands. And what was targeted specifically? Any ideas? Any memory? Say oil infrastructure. Exact great memory. That's 100% correct. But not just that. They went after supply lines. And they said at the time, they boasted about this, saying, hey, we went after, and it was ISIL, not ISIS, but we went after ISIS's revenue from oil. They specifically targeted the oil reserves. Oil fields, pipelines, energy infrastructure, all of that was controlled by ISIS. Now, did that also serve civilian populations? Yeah, it did. But no war crimes as a result of that. So all you have to do is apply that exact same standard to Iran. We're going after a military supply route that's sustaining the ballistic missiles that are being used against American forces, against our allies. That framing just by itself is the exact same justification that Clinton and Obama used. Now, could you have an honest conversation about the disproportionality of what the president saw? Sure, I think that that's fair. And I think it's responsible. We should be having that conversation. I don't recall the conversation taking place against ISIS or back with Serbia, but fair enough. I think you should have had that conversation to the extent we didn't. I think it's responsible for us to have that conversation. But they are predetermining war criminal status because they hate Donald Trump. They hate Donald.
Okay. So any thoughts on that?
It's true. What you said is true. I mean, I'm looking at it right here in my face, and it does say that if it's dual purpose, then it can be targeted.
Well, I mean,
I agree with that.
you know,
Yeah, I mean, that I don't think that was
how they bombed an educational facility, killed around 150 children.
Yeah,
you do realize that these terrorists, that's what they do. They use these kids as human shields.
Yes.
They put their weapons depots, they put their military into these schools, into these daycares, into these hospitals. So when they get hit because they're using it for military purposes, then they can go cry to the media and say, oh, look what the U.S. did to these kids. It's propaganda, D.
I mean, think about how disgusting of a person or how weak and pathetic you would have to be to do that. I mean, imagine if the United States was like, went and grabbed a bunch of kids and then put them in front of, like, we would be like,
they do.
Like, are you out of your mind?
I mean, I guess nothing they would do would surprise me at this point because we're not even supposed to be over there right now in the first place.
Well, we wouldn't be over there
to be building a nuclear weapon either.
Yeah, we wouldn't be over there if the deep state didn't want to put its tentacles around the whole world.
I mean, if we're talking about the deep state, Jimmy, then we should be talking about, you mentioned that earlier, that this is about Britain. Well, I mean, we're not anywhere near Britain and Iran.
This is we talked about that last week, where there's the economic impact of this that does affect Britain, and their control over the Strait of Hormuz. We did talk about that last week.
I mean, either way, I just feel like we shouldn't be there.
Okay, hold on, pause, because I see JG's comments in here, and he's saying that Trump has no honor, saying, no, Ruby, the America that I believe in acts honorably. JG, please wake up. Please wake up. Since the beginning of the inception of America, it has been brought to or by blood. Okay, let's stop acting as if we're so nice and we're so honorable. No, and they aren't either. So you have to fight fire with fire sometimes. And does anybody remember when we used to say, oh, America doesn't negotiate with terrorists? Whatever happened to that?
Yep.
So please stop acting as if we're the nice guys, because we never were, we never are, and we never will be. So you have to grow a pair and you have to get involved. Honestly, you have to do your
Can't be
research,
the
get
number one
involved.
military in the world and be the nice guy.
Exactly. And Trump is going to say whatever he needs to say publicly to get them to bend the knee. So when he said that tweet, in my opinion, that was just for them to listen and learn, or else he's going to
I
have
feel
to
like
act
the
upon
things
it.
that he's saying and doing are going to get us in World War III and eventually destroyed.
No. I mean, I can say, so coming from this perspective, because my wife actually has family in China, like affiliated with the CCP. It won't be a world war. It will not be a world war because, like, as outdated as it is, mutually assured destruction is still a thing.
Right.
And at the end of the day, there's still a global world order. Now, what you'll likely see is what we're seeing over here is more countries are aligning with China, and African countries aligning with China, and countries choosing to kind of back away from the US. You'll see that, but that's not going to lead to a world war. And even though
like that's the beginning of the end for us, though. I mean, I feel like that's the crumbling of our empire.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the crumbling of the empire, because the American economy is so big that even if the petrodollar was abandoned completely, America would still be fine, because America has so much natural resources. So it would take a hit, don't get me wrong, and it would suck for a bit, but overall America would be fine. And as for the war perspective, people generally don't want war. I mentioned even generally, like, for instance, in a past show, I talked about Taiwan and how I don't see China invading Taiwan and getting involved with America, because that's World War III, but also because many countries prefer to play a more political angle. Why invade Taiwan when the younger people are saying, hey, we want to be a part of China and willingly join it? You don't need to
ask you, Diamond, because I've actually heard that Taiwan has already been retooken by China about 2 weeks ago.
So, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know enough about that. I do know that a couple weeks ago, Taiwan actually sent its leaders over to China to discuss reunification.
Yes.
Yeah.
Know that.
I said, I just feel like eventually, because of this war and because of Trump, that we have now scared the world so bad that I feel like they're going to start banding together to undermine us and eventually, maybe, I don't know if it'll happen in our lifetimes, but eventually conquer us.
Never.
Because we have proven dangerous.
Never in a million years. Never.
So here's the thing: you cannot.
I feel like that arrogance, though, is exactly why we're here in the first place.
Well, no. So let me talk about it from a practical standpoint. Practically, there are more guns in the U.S. than there are human beings. Also, America is one of the few countries on the planet historically to be demonstrated, even in times of like Hurricane Katrina, where people magically set aside their differences and come together. Right. So America will never be conquered, and the force of the military. Like you can even look it up online. If the US were to shut down all its bases and pull back in the US, Canada and Mexico couldn't even breach the border because of just how much firepower is there. Now, what would happen is economically it would be locked out. Socially, it would be locked out. And Ruby is an isolationist, so she's people.
I'm for it. Yeah.
I mean, here's another way to look at it. I mean, maybe we wouldn't be conquered with weapons per se, but let's say that we have scared the world so bad at this point that they're going to find a way to infiltrate and undermine our leadership to the point where they control it more. And
the world is not as scared as you think.
Yeah.
The world is not as scared as you think. Like, sure, Europe is
Europe is shaking in their boots right now.
Yeah, Europe is terrified. Europe is terrified. China's taking notes. Influencers here in Mongolia are laughing at how hilarious the war is going down. India is making memes about it.
Yeah.
Right. Russia's not even paying attention to it.
Right.
People in Africa occasionally comment on it and then go about their day. right? It's
Right.
really just the Western nations that are like concerned.
Right. Exactly. And
If
that's the
Taiwan though
problem.
goes and becomes part of China, that means that they're gonna have American technology then. They build all our chips, all our advanced chips, which is the most important component to our modern weapons. If that happens, what you just said happens, then that means China is going to catch up almost instantaneously with our technology, and then
I'm
our
gonna
advantage is gone.
I doubt it.
well, hot take. Here's a hot take. That's
Mhm.
what America gets for outsourcing in the first place.
Well,
So-
yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
it's stupid.
Exactly. There's
That's
I
your
want to
fault.
ask you guys a question.
Taiwan's fault.
go
I'm,
ahead,
I'm
D.
curious what you guys think about something real quick. This is kind of related. To me, it's related to how we got involved, or to me, it's related because it's one of the reasons that we got involved, because it involves Israel. What do you guys think about the rise of Christian nationalism? Because I feel like that's kind of what supported our effort to ban with Israel.
Hang on. I'm gonna let Ruby take over. I'm gonna be right back, and I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. Let Ruby handle this one.
Let me grab
There
my
you
charger
leave,
real quick,
Jimmy?
too.
One
You're
second.
so wrong? Like serious?
Do what? Do what? No, I'll stay. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
Hold on. Some people left their desk. I'm gonna wait till everybody comes back. Okay, that's a great question, Diasiss. Thank you so much for asking it.
I got to get a beer for this one. It's gotta be good.
Yeah, I'm gonna dive into the chat. I'm gonna dive into the chat here in a
Oh
second.
my
but-
word. I knew this was coming though, because we spoke on text.
All right.
And I
So-
said,
so-
oh boy.
So before we dive into that, did we have any other comments about Iran and what's going on here?
Oh my
We
word.
kind of
So this is kind of my final thoughts. Like, at the end of the day, this situation, as well as just any type of country intervening in another country historically, not even America, just like in general, it's messy, it's bloody, it's gross. And the reality is, there's no like clear cut and dry answers that'll make everybody happy. Right. I mean,
We'll agree with that
it's a
statement.
it's a sad reality of the human condition, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Christian nationalism does not bother me, and hot take, because Christian nationalists are a bunch of pushovers.
No,
Right?
absolutely.
See, that's
Well,
why I
you
want to go
gotta-
smoke
no,
a cigarette before we talk about
Go
that.
ahead, Jimmy. Do what you got to do, because first of all, everybody has to understand that I don't think you actually know what a real Christian is. So if we're gonna talk about that, then yes, it would be something to be fearful, right? Because they're so scary, and Christians want to impose their religion and mix it in with politics. Yeah, I get that. But a lot of laws, morals, constitutions, state constitutions, and state laws have already had Christian principles within it. So to say that the rise of this or the rise, it's always been there. You just haven't seen it until now, until the media wanted to condition you to be afraid of it. Because America is already a Christian nation. It's already in most of our things. We just have to enforce it. We haven't enforced a lot of these laws in a very long time. Like what, the 50s?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. In my personal opinion, I hate the Bible. Jimmy knows this about me because Jimmy and me go way back. I think that the Bible and all religious, old religious books like that, the Quran, need to be completely and utterly, absolutely destroyed and erased. I feel like they need to never exist. I feel like I'm glad that Christianity is dying. I'm glad that
not.
As a Hindu nationalist, we're gonna have some words coming up here when it's my turn to talk.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of conversions happening, and that's not even the political side of it. Okay, let's bring it back to the political side, because like it or not, religion is not going anywhere. That's just a human nature type thing. We all want to worship a God. We all have that nature within us. That's never gonna go away. Now, like we told Dave a few weeks ago, it really just boils down to which one you agree with, which one you want to follow, right? Like he said, he don't like the Bible. Okay, great. You don't have to like the Bible. But in the United States, in my opinion, as someone who subscribes to that ideology, well, I would say, well, if you don't like it, you can go. You can go to any other country that are atheist or Muslim or Buddhist or Hindu, like Dave. You can go to his country and have a great time.
You can come here to Mongolia where it's secular and there's no state religion.
It's beautiful over there.
Except everyone worships Genghis Khan. So there is a religion.
And that's a choice, right? So that's the majority of
Yeah.
your country, right? The people of the majority, that's the country
Yeah.
religion, state religion,
Yep.
whatever you want to call
Tibetan
it.
Buddhism. Yep.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So just like I, as the Christian nationalist, would never go to a country like Dave's and start imposing my religion on his country and his people. Granted that we're not talking about history here, I'm just talking about now. All right, do not even bring up the Crusades, please, because I'm talking about right now. Right, I wouldn't go to his country and say, well, you worship a false god and what I say goes. I'm gonna become a voter and a citizen in your country and start changing stuff, right, about Jesus, and use Jesus Christ for that and use the Bible, right? So that's the same exact thing of people coming to America and trying to impose their religious views or their culture that is very much intertwined with their ethnicity. And that goes for everybody. I'm not singling out just one group of people. Y'all could all go back to where you came from and let America be what the majority is, which is Christian.
I love how you think Mongolia is technically my country when I was born in America and I'm Garadhun,
Well,
which literally translates to outside person.
left. You got married and you left. So enjoy yourself. You're not American.
I
You
am.
vote-
It's great.
you
It's
vote,
great.
No, just because you
It's
were born
great.
here don't mean you're American. And I'm not gonna even get into that. But you left. You got married. You're satisfied. You ain't even Christian, so you have no dog in this fight. So anybody,
I know
else
it's
who's chime in,
fun.
go
It's
ahead.
just fun to see you rant without breathing for 10 minutes. That's
I
like,
definitely support
well,
separation of church and state. And I believe that part of that separation of church and state means getting the Bible and God and, Jesus and, in my opinion, all that other fiction, fantasy.
And it really doesn't. So if you want to talk about that, then let's talk about that.
I
Because-
actually got something to say to
Go ahead.
something
Go ahead.
earlier Dee said. Here's the issue that I take. I don't like the Bible either. However, we cannot deny that the Bible is more than just a religion. It is a culture, right? And this is why people globally hate Americans, right? Specifically atheist Americans, because atheist Americans say religion is bad, destroy all the texts, and, get rid of these fables. You would not try that in India because, I'm not talking about you, I just mean in general. People would not try that in India because Hinduism, the faith that I follow, is much more than just, I worship Lord Shiva one day and Mahakali on the next day. There is a culture. It's a way of preparing food. It's a way I live my life. So if you throw out the religious text, you are throwing out the culture that was a part of the creation of that text. And many people do not want atheist Americans or just white Westerners in general trying to change their culture because, as the example, India, British people, some of my ancestors, which is why I have cousins in India, tried that in India. They tried to destroy the culture. So it's literally doing the same thing, except you're not doing it from the Catholic perspective. You're just destroying it and not replacing it with a god. There is no difference.
Hey, D,
Yo.
can I ask you a question about your atheist viewpoint?
Sure.
So, I mean, you don't know me, D, and I don't know you. So, I used to be an atheist for a long time, and I've only recently converted. Now, one of the things that kind of woke me up out of the atheist movement is I started to realize how the atheist movement isn't really the atheist movement. Most of your big atheists that are out there, like, I'm not going to say their names, but I'm assuming that you watch atheist material.
I do sometimes. I watch them all. I watch Christian material, atheist material.
Yeah.
Anybody
so
really.
You watch like debates?
What's that?
Are you into debating?
Oh yes.
Okay, so you're gonna know some of the same people I know. I personally had conversations with some of those big atheists and found out things about them that I was shocked about their belief systems, and that a lot of them are not atheists. A lot of them are occultists, and they pretend to be atheists, which is something that I did not realize. And then when you've seen the woke agenda, which we all know what that is, and that is being backed by the atheist movement, we see that certain atheists like Richard Dawkins, which I'm just going to throw that name only, was being attacked by other atheists, and there was a split with the atheist community. I really don't think the atheist community has much to offer, seeing as that what have we got from the atheist community? We got woke ideology and trans ideology from it. We know for a fact that those are fake, those are artificial, and they're constructed by occult members. Now that we know that, and we know the atheists know this too and knew this in the beginning, they were still willing to lie in order to take down religion, but yet they're going to accept the occult. That seems really bizarre to me, and I wanted to know what your opinion is, why the atheist movement is so accepting of Satanism and the occult, if it hates all religions. I mean, really think about the people we talk about, the people you've heard, you don't need to say their names, and then think about the tattoos, what they wear, the way they talk, and yet they don't wear religion, but yet they support the occult almost every single time.
Okay.
I just switched, and now I'm going to defend D after he speaks.
That's
love this.
okay.
Can I make a comment? I think we should change the subject because I'm on the same wavelength as Beau. And I'm going to say something. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I really don't give a shit if you do. There's going to be no religion at the end. When Satan shows up on the scene, it's going to be about worship. If you don't worship God, by default, you're going to be worshiping Satan himself.
Yeah, but everybody has a different definition of that. So
we'll call it what you want, the devil, Belshazzar, Satan.
And some people don't even believe in that. So this is a very important
topic. Well, if you don't believe in him, you must be living on another planet because the evilness definitely is there. And
I will say this.
There's a lot of demonic shit going on in this world. And if you don't believe it, then you're living on another planet. Sorry. That's why I don't think we should be talking about this. I believe in God. He's in my life, and no one can take that away from me. I'm not an atheist. I believe in God. I believe that his son's going to be coming soon, and I can't wait for him to cleanse this evil, hateful, despicable earth that we live on. That's how I feel, and I'm very strong about it. And no one's going to take that away from me, and that's what I believe in till the day I drop dead. And you can believe whatever you want. That's what God gave you a free will and a conscience to do your own thinking.
And
I love these panels because literally I went from disagreeing with D to in 2 seconds now I'm ready to back him up. And I'm not Christian or an atheist.
I know. Hold on. D had a question. Go ahead.
For it.
All right.
Well, I want to say that Gail, I appreciate your passion. I'm going to try my best to answer Booth's question. Well, wow, that's a lot to unpack, a lot said there. And I didn't mean for it to segue into this either. I was just thinking about the whole Christian nationalism aspect.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not done with you yet. Go ahead. Finish your sentence.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Go ahead. Move on to something positive. Let's move on to something positive.
Go ahead, D. Go ahead.
Oh, come on. I want to hear D's response.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to break it down and make it as simple and fast as I can. Philosophically, I am a Satanist. I absolutely love the aesthetic. Do I believe that there's a real Satan? Not necessarily. For me, it is more a philosophical creed. So, that being said, I'm not really sure how real Satan is either. I don't believe in the biblical God because I don't believe that there is enough evidence to do so. And I don't think that we would need apologists to explain him if he was really that real. And I think it's even more so true with Jesus, whom we don't have any writings of him, from him, or anything about him during the time. The greatest man in the world who even, healed the sick and resurrected the dead were written about. There is no writings. We have Josephus, we have Tacitus, both are considered forgeries, and he's considered a complete work of fiction based on Hercules. So
Well,
I
of course
feel
you're gonna
that
feel that way.
So
Right,
just
but
like
hold on, let him finish
like the
because
truth.
we're not doing apologetics, but let him finish, and then we're gonna go back to politics. Go ahead.
I mean, that's really it. That's my perspective. That's my opinion. That's how I feel.
Okay, which makes sense. Okay, like no offense, but a lot of people with their religious or ideology or worldview is going to spill into their politics. So it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it tracks. But let me ask you this. If you were in a country, let's say America, right? Majority Christian, and it did not align with your worldview at all, then would you still be living in that country trying to change something that probably would never change? Or would you rather go to a country where that's acceptable? Does that make sense? Like, do you want to fight for a position somewhere where that's unacceptable, let's say? Or would you rather go to a country and just say, agree to disagree, and I'd rather leave? What would your opinion be?
Yeah, to answer your question, I think that like the apostates, we agnostics and atheists are winning. It's only a matter of time in the 21st century and age of the internet before people can look up the Bible and Jesus and just realize how unprovable it truly is. And people that are so powerful that did so many amazing works are easily provable. Jesus and God and the Bible and all of that are not, to quote my favorite Bible passage.
But that's not the argument. That's not the argument. Would you leave the country that is majority Christian for a country that is okay with you, that allows you to be who you want to be and believe what you want to believe?
Okay, so I don't believe that the country is Christian. Majority claim Christian, but world leaders tend to be satanic. They tend to be...
Agreed.
Right, they tend to be Masonic.
Right there.
And that we were founded,
we agree with you on that one.
Right, we were found constitutionally. It was encouraged, if not directly stated, but it was heavily implied and encouraged that there shall be a separation of church and state. So to answer your question, I am in the right country. I'm in a country that promotes secularism, which is exactly where I should be, because that...
And I would agree with you because the society definitely does. But we're going to talk about politics. Now, one last question before I dive in. Do agree or disagree? Some cultures and some groups of people do not mix at all. No matter how much you try, no matter how much propaganda's on the TV to try to make people get along. Agree or disagree? Some people or groups of people just do not get along.
Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no argument to say that that's not the case. That's
but I'm asking him because the point is to talk about the separation of church and state, because to his argument, he should be able to do whatever he wants, believe whatever he wants, and that the laws don't apply to him because, like I already stated, the laws are majority Christian principles, and he doesn't adhere to that. He doesn't subscribe to that, right? So I'm just trying to pinpoint where this all makes sense, because it's not just one person.
I didn't say all that.
But D could be a cultural Christian, though.
Well, he just said he hates the Bible. All of our laws.
Well, I know,
come from
but
the
that
Bible.
doesn't mean you
right.
That's what a
still have
cultural
some-
Christian is, and I say this as a
Okay.
Hindu because there's many cultural Christians who hate the Bible, but they go to church because they're cute
And you're
girls
not a Christian.
at
You're
Sunday
not a
school.
Christian. You're not a Christian.
What?
Sorry. That's
What
why
did
I
you
said in the
say?
beginning, you need to know what a real Christian is. So when we're
But no,
talking about Christian nationalism, his ideology would be illegal, right? That's what we're getting at. That's why he's saying
Sure,
the
I was
rise
talking
of
about the
Christian
cultural Christian, like that Beau brought up, the cultural Christian, which
Well,
is
my
very
ideology
different than
doesn't
a real
break the
Christian.
laws.
Yeah, cultural Christians are not Christians. They're not true Christians.
Yeah.
They're not Ruby.
And,
They're not me.
I'm
They're
not
not.
talking about them. We're talking
Yeah.
about real Christians. We're talking about the Bible. We're talking about laws. We're talking about the Constitution.
Yeah.
We're talking about, we get all of our laws in the 10 Commandments. So if we're gonna base a whole country based on that, like the founding fathers did, then you're ultimately going against what we stand for as Americans. But I
What makes you
digress.
think that? I'm curious, Ruby. I have a question.
I will digress because that's not even the point. The point is the separation of church and state. Yes, I agree with you. We're not going to appoint one church over another church or any other church or any other religion as the state's religion.
Well, do you
As a
believe
society.
that our laws were founded off of the Ten Commandments? I mean, I'm not saying you're
Definitely.
I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just saying how do you know that? What convinces you of that?
Just read the Constitution, how it reads. Even state constitutions have the God within it. Just like somebody said in the chat, all of our politicians, we swear an oath on the Bible to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So when we based everything on the Bible, then this nation is a Christian nation. Now, back to the
I feel like that's a stretch. But okay.
You can feel however you want to feel, but we're going to talk about the facts. We're not going to put a certain religion as the state religion like England did, right? Because remember, the British people were coming over here to seek independence from that because the church was oppressing the people in their time and they couldn't practice their heresies or else they would be arrested or killed or whatever, right? So they wanted to come over here so they can practice their own denominations or whatever heresy they wanted. And that's why they wrote what they did. But they were Christian. They did not write that to say or allow other religions to come over here and try to use freedom of religion so they can practice their religion, which goes against Christian morals and principles and the West in general, because we are incompatible with them. They don't belong here.
How do we know? Well, how do we know that they were Christian and not, some kind of other belief system under their Freemason?
Well, that's what the history's books say. They were Christian. The Pilgrims were Christian. Thanksgiving, that's all Christian.
Well, I'm talking about the founding fathers.
Can we let Leonard speak? Leonard wants to say something.
Go ahead, Leonard.
I just want to say this. Knowing where I stand biblically, spiritually, and scripturally, I am not going to enforce or push my convicted beliefs on anybody. That's not my place. That's not my responsibility. And that's not my judgment to do on anybody. Because personally, who am I to try to change somebody's mind or what they stand on and believe? That's was biblically, that's not my responsibility. Because number one, I'm not God. I don't have no right nor the place to try to enforce somebody to become a born again Christian. Now, in that, I know a lady right now, I can assume she is, but being around this woman for a certain amount of time, I really don't think so. But she's a Christian, and she has tried to enforce people to become a Christian instead of just praying for that manifestation.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm just gonna pray and just leave it where it is. Now that's just me, myself personally. Now, whoever takes it, they can take it, they can leave it. That's on your hands and not mine. Now,
okay, thank you, Leonard.
Hey.
Yeah, that's what a libertarian would say. Oh, if it's not hurting anybody else, it's okay. And that's where my extremism comes into play, because I used to think the exact same way too. But then we started having drag queens in kid hour and libraries, okay? And that's what radicalized me. And when you start thinking about all of this in the biblical sense, yes, it is our responsibility. I mean, that's the whole point in life. But I understand that people don't believe that. That's perfectly fine. But when we're talking about my country, our country, you think I'm going to leave it up to the Satanists? You think I'm going to leave it up to the...
And to back Ruby up here, Nobody would bat an eyelash if I were to reference, like, because I'm a Hindu nationalist, right? Nobody would bat an eyelash when I show that does not fly in India because people get
Right.
decapitated. Nobody
Right.
cares. I could show you
Exactly.
points in the Middle East where Muslim nationalists will kill people for doing the same thing. Nobody cares.
Exactly.
But when a Christian nationalist in America says, no, I disagree with this, everyone loses their
Yeah, that is something I noticed too.
That's another thing, and that's the propaganda. Okay, that's the propaganda machine to make you fearful of the Christian nationalism when all we're saying is to just enforce the laws we already have, because we have them. They just haven't been enforced in like how many years? Since the 50s, the 40s? Like since when?
Hey, Ruby, I want to ask you something, or I want to share something with you, and I'm not going to say who sent me this message because they didn't want to say it in the chat because they didn't want to go up against you.
I wonder why.
Lame.
I'm just kidding, Ruby. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm kidding.
No, don't feel like that at all.
So, is it possible, okay, that the founding fathers, who we know the majority of them were Freemasons,
Yep.
is it possible that Freemasonry used Christianity as a disguise?
Definitely. That's why I said they weren't real Christians.
Oh, I agree with you, Jimmy.
They're not real Christians. And fun fact, you cannot be a Freemason and a Christian. You cannot be Judeo-Christian. You cannot be gay and Christian. Those things do not go together at all. Okay? So it doesn't even exist. Those terms don't exist. They try to
up until the 15th level, and then no.
Yeah.
You cannot be a baptized Christian
correct.
and be affiliated with any other organization like that. So those are not real Christians.
Well, I mean, okay, we talk about, we've been talking about how the founding fathers were predominantly Christian. Everything was based on Christianity. But, the original Pledge of Allegiance didn't even have under God in it until 1954. So it wasn't, we were trying to be secular from way back.
But the Pledge of Allegiance isn't like a founding document. That came later, right? That was what, in the 50s? Just like the In God We Trust came later.
Right.
Like, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on U.S. history. But
I agree with you, D, because like I said before, they were coming from England because they couldn't practice their heresies. So they wanted to come to the New World and make their own churches and their own denominations and Protestantism. There's a whole branch of all of that. They came here to do that. So obviously they did promote those secular views. I'm against that.
So, speaking of the Pledge of Allegiance, the original purpose of the Pledge of Allegiance, it was created to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Columbus's voyage and to foster patriotism in public schools. The Pledge of Allegiance was written in August of 1892 by Francis Bellamy, a Baptist minister and author. It was first published on September 8th of 1892 in the Youth's Companion magazine and was officially recited by school children on October 21, 1892, to mark the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus.
Thank you, Jimmy.
The phrase, and to Dee's point, the phrase "under God" was added to the pledge by Congress in 1954.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready to move on?
I think does anybody have any questions before we do move on? Because I think I made my case pretty clear.
I think we covered it.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about aliens and giants.
No, I have Beau's gonna do the dinosaurs, and I'll.
We were supposed to talk about the dinosaurs. I totally forgot about them, guys.
I completely didn't do anything, and
So we're going to put that on the shelf for later.
You can
no. I have information. I haven't because I was backing up Beau last week.
Hey, time out. Hang on a second, guys.
It'll be 2 minutes.
All right, hang on. Ruby, do we still have that clip to where we's like, hey, wait for more coming. Here comes the conspiracy stuff. Do we?
Yes, we do. We do.
All right, so are we ready to transition to a different
Yes.
topic?
Yes, we are.
Put our
And
hats on.
I just gotta
Hold
say
on.
this.
Put your hat on.
Yeah, please. While Jimmy does that, I just have to say this because a lot of people might be watching that are new or might come across this video. Yeah, he got the tinfoil hat and everything. There's been a lot of
I need
upgrades.
to make one of those. Oh,
You
by the way,
definitely.
JG, there was no moon landing because the moon is obviously not real. Okay.
Well, hold on, Dave.
Hold
We
on,
just
hey, let's
talked
talk
about
about
it.
that.
Hold
Play
on.
the intro,
Sheesh.
Ruby.
Okay, just really quickly, I want to say our live shows are pretty chaotic, so please, bear with me. Even though I may get loud and rowdy, I'm still, we're good. You know what I'm saying? We're all friends and good people at the end of the day. All right, because sometimes it gets crazy in here, and I don't want people to think like I'm bullying y'all or whatever.
Well, and I want to say too, Ruby.
That was just a
again,
discussion.
Yeah,
No, I know. I'm just saying it for others.
Yeah, we all get excited about our beliefs and in our
Mhm.
positions and everything, and I get that. But I'm still telling you, the comment that I think the best comment that we've gotten on this show so far out of so many episodes was a roundabout Aussie last week, where she said, or he or she, still don't know if you're a he or she, but anyway,
It's 2026. Apparently, it doesn't matter anymore.
Hey, them, whatever. That this show was definitely not an echo chamber.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I never is, guys. It may be chaotic, but it will never be an echo chamber.
So to open up this segment, let me ask you guys this.
Welcome back to the UPC.
Do y'all believe in the whole Artemis rocket launch on April Fools and that we're going around the moon?
Oh my God.
Do y'all believe any of that?
Absolutely not.
Sorry. When I see
I mean, the
woke
moon
anything, I
isn't
think
real. The moon isn't real. There's supposedly women on it, and we all know women are a figment of our imagination.
Hey, yo!
Have you seen that conspiracy? There's a lot of good conspiracies out there. I love it.
I'll tell you what, I need some new conspiracy because all my old ones have been coming true.
There's a conspiracy that there's no such thing as a woman on the internet. There's a conspiracy that birds are not real. You're probably familiar with that one.
I heard that
I'm familiar with that one, yeah.
No, I never heard that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
some
birds are just government surveillance devices because China
Yeah.
and other countries have made birds that are just drones.
True.
So
That's hilarious that we had a tinfoil hat on for it.
Oh, you want to see it again?
Oh, you heard?
You got to leave it on for this segment.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's a cowboy hat.
Well, hey, you know what? At least we got a sense of humor about shit.
This is true.
Look at this. Look at this. You see that?
It's phenomenal.
That's hilarious. My girlfriend said it's phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
We heard her.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Beau, you didn't do your homework about dinosaurs?
Well, I've had this discussion before, but I did not. I completely went out of my mind. I was too into aliens and the
What
war
about like
and
rocket propelled?
I'll be very quick. Well, the word dinosaur was invented in 1841 by Sir Richard Owen, and behemoth was in the book of Job, and that was God's first creation. And it was a colossal beast that was referenced in Job 40. In Job 41, the Leviathan, which is a dragon, and there's been references to dragons all over the world and in museums. especially in China, they have dragons and some of their stones and stuff like that. And there's also Bombardian beetle. It's a fire-breathing beetle. So I just wanted to add that about dinosaurs.
You know
Thank
what?
you, Gail.
It doesn't exactly breathe fire. It has a chemical reaction that causes.
Yes, that's what I mean. Whatever.
Sorry.
Where
I
is
think
that
you know me,
one?
Gail. I just got to throw useless facts out there.
No, that's all right. But you're right. I said it the wrong way. Did you know that there's an outbreak of syphilis in the state of Michigan?
No,
I mean, it's
Yeah,
Michigan. That doesn't surprise me in the
syphilis.
slightest.
Look that up. I couldn't believe it. There's I don't know how many cases of syphilis in the state of
Weird.
Michigan. I don't know what's going on. Did you hear about the explosion on the Panama Canal Bridge? 3 oil tankers blew up yesterday.
No.
Didn't hear that
No.
one either.
I did.
Nope.
Yeah,
I heard about it. I did hear about it.
Who said that?
D.
That was D.
Oh, what did you hear, Dave?
Basically just that. So I forget what tankers they were, but 3 tankers. Can you remind me like what region it's in? I did briefly.
The Panama Canal.
Where at?
Panama Canal.
South America.
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, I heard about some ships blowing up, but I didn't know where it was or anything. So
Well, oil tankers.
Right, oil tankers. Yeah,
Do we know who the oil tankers belong to?
No, they're investigating that right now.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to do any more.
Are we going back to dragons?
Oh.
Yeah, this was supposed to be about dinosaurs. Hold up. Can we talk
Wait,
about
why
the
are we
moon for
talking
a
about
second?
dinosaurs?
Huh?
Because this was supposed to be a last week thing, and I totally forgot about the dinosaurs. But supposedly dinosaurs are not real, and their fossils are
No.
fake in the museums and
I've
stuff
heard
like that.
I've heard
They were
that.
gonna prove to me that dinosaurs don't exist.
Yeah, Beau
right.
was gonna bring it
But
up.
wait.
He's got bones, dinosaur bones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a
Mhm.
bunch of them right here.
Can we see them?
Probably not, but I'll try.
Okay,
I
because
don't
I
know
have
if
a
this
question about the whole moon stuff, the whole rocket stuff. So
Can you guys even see this stuff?
Oh wow.
yeah.
Oh, look, it's AI.
Yeah, really bad AI.
Damn,
Wait, that's a dinosaur bone.
Hold on. Did you actually buy that, Beau?
Where'd you find those?
Oh, I purchased. I live in Arizona, guys. So,
So you must see them in the desert.
yeah, we have a
What is
lot of
that?
fossils out here.
It's
Dinosaur
fossils.
Well, they're fossils. I'll be honest with you. I don't have any dinosaur fossils. I have fish and mosasaurs.
Cool.
Okay.
Mosasaurs
okay.
are not a dinosaur technically; they're a
Oh.
reptile, but I'm pretty close.
Cool.
Okay. Hold on. The whole moon stuff. If we don't believe that the moon is real, then what were they doing, Dave?
Oh, he was just joking with
He
me.
was joking. He was joking.
No, no. I'm serious. No,
Yeah,
I'm serious. I mean, me.
I love saying that because there's always one person that takes me
Yes, sir.
seriously.
I
And
did
there's
last week.
always and in these conspiracy groups, there's always one person I convert to believing the moon is not real because I tell them to do their own research. And it's hilarious. That's the only reason why I say that.
Okay, well, hold on.
How do they
because-
think the moon's not real? Like you can look at it with a telescope.
Well, I just asked them to
Right.
prove
Maybe it's one of those
that.
things on the back of the
So
telescope.
I basically just pull shit out of my ass. But basically, I bring up 2 points. One, they've never been there, so they don't
Right.
have a moon rock. 2, they cannot prove to me that they see the moon. They can tell me they see the moon, but they cannot actually physically prove they see the moon.
And wasn't there a
Here's-
time? Wasn't there a time in history to where it was written somewhere that there was a time before the moon that people actually talked about that? Ancient ancestors, ancient humans, or does anybody else remember reading that?
I vaguely heard something along those lines. I'd have to actually do a deep dive, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'd
heard
have to
of that
dive
before.
back in on that. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do a search right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
I just do it
I-
to be a troll and annoy people. That's all
I've
that's why I do
heard
it.
somebody that was I can't prove that. I mean, I know that he worked in intelligence, U.S. intelligence, but I can't prove what I'm going to say he said. But he claimed that the moon is artificial and that there's a base there and there's aliens. I've heard this.
That's what Joseph Smith in Mormonism said, except it wasn't aliens, it's Quakers. So it's a military base of Quakers on
What
the
are
moon.
Quakers?
Maybe they got a point.
It's a type of like, I think they're related to like Mennonite Christians, but they're like, they're like an offshoot of Mennonite Christians.
Do they have like powers?
You guys
Or
heard
something? How are they
anything about the second
surviving with
moon?
no atmosphere?
Fuck, I don't know. Ask Joseph Smith. Like he made it up. Like I don't know. That's what he said.
Okay.
Like,
Have you guys heard this theory about like a second moon, a smaller moon?
Is it in the dark side?
The dark side, yes. The dark. They have
I've heard it,
cookies
but I don't
like
know
this.
nothing about it. I've heard the theory, but
All right, so doing a quick search, guys, on this whole time, a time that there was no moon. I searched in, was there a teaching that there was a time when there was no moon? And AI came back with, yes, there are several ancient teachings, myths, and oral traditions that explicitly describe a period in Earth's history when there was no moon. These accounts often reference a time before the moon was captured, created, or introduced into its current orbit, with some cultures describing the moon as having arrived or been brought later.
I mean, they probably just voted for it.
The Proselynes of Greece, ancient Greek writers, including Aristotle and Plutarch, referred to the inhabitants of the mountainous region of Arcadia as proselynes, which translates to pre-moon or before the moon. These traditions describe the Arcadians as living in that area before the moon was present in the night sky. Other Greek authors, Apollonius of Rhodes, Ovid, and Hippolytus alluded to a time before the birth of Zeus, or when not all celestial objects were in the sky. South American traditions, the Chickasaw Indians of Bogota Highlands and Colombia hold oral traditions of a time in the earliest times when the moon was not yet in the heavens. Two more. Zulu legend, Zulu oral tradition speaks of the moon being brought thousands of generations ago by two water brothers, Wowane and Mampuku, who stole it in the form of a hollowed out egg. And the last one, scriptural reference. Maybe somebody can look this up. Some interpretations of Job 25:5 and Psalm 72:5, as discussed by Emmanuel Velascafi, have been suggested as referring to a time before the moon.
Yeah, that's what Joseph says, that the moon has always existed. Ancient people worship the moon. The Hebrew religion is based on the moon. So
Islam is based on the moon too.
And our calendar should have been based on the moon cycles. And that's why we should have a 13-month calendar, not this 12-month calendar bull crap we have.
right. Okay. Wait, okay, so hold on. Let's entertain that. Okay, maybe there is a moon, but like Dave said, we've never been there. I agree, right?
Mhm.
And this whole NASA stuff is a whole like money laundering scheme or something where they fund money or something. Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're walking with me. So what are they doing with these rockets? That's my question. Why are they keeping up this story?
Yeah, so I had two thoughts on that, Ruby. I had one thought was, all right, are the white hats, or whatever you want to call it, are they testing people to see if they're actually still buying the propaganda?
Okay.
Or are they making some of these things so obviously stupid and blatant that people just won't be able to ignore how crazy it is? Is that possible? Yeah, it's possible.
Let me think about that. Diasiss, did you want to add something?
So you're saying there's a psyop?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I have a few thoughts on it myself. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys had seen before, but me and John years ago on our short-lived show, Is That For Real? We did a couple episodes about the moon. One was about the moon landing being for real. And after doing that video, I started to question if we actually did go to the moon. I mean, I had believed it my whole life. And me and John, were doing research, and I'm like, this is starting to sound a lot like bullshit. I don't think
Yeah.
it happened. I mean,
Didn't
I'm
Neil
not going to
Armstrong
say
like
it
say
didn't.
that they didn't go, like in some interview?
Yeah, he said he didn't go.
One of them.
Yeah,
I can find that.
I'm not convinced.
I'll find that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it didn't happen. I'm going to say I'm not convinced it happened.
Right.
So here's my thing. Not only am I not convinced, I'm genuinely curious on why we should care. Because landing on the moon, like, I mean, just thinking about it from a day-to-day life perspective, like, it doesn't impact like housing prices, it doesn't impact homelessness, it doesn't impact, you know, even from Ruby's perspective, it doesn't impact like the well-being of American society and the moral values of American society. So
Right.
why should we care? What
Because
does
this
it bring
Because
us?
this is the conspiracy part of the show.
Well, it gives you bragging rights, so you can show who's got bigger balls. I mean,
But
that's
I get what
only
you say,
say.
Dave. What does it really matter?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, now if someone like just hypothetically can make a starship like in Star Trek and like squash us all on there and actually tour us around, by all means, I'm on board for this. But until that happens, I don't really care about what NASA is doing.
I'm just
because
thinking
it doesn't impact the planet.
Actually, in a kind of a way, it does impact our society. And what I mean by that is if they're taking...
It means we're cool.
Hang on. If they're taking millions and billions of dollars from the taxpayer funds and they're putting it towards NASA and these space programs just to be able to create psyops and lie to us, then yeah, it does have an effect on us because they're stealing our daggone taxpayer dollars.
Here's a hot take conspiracy for you. Did you notice that those millions and billions of dollars that you talked about, that money originally was a part of Hollywood?
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So Hollywood had millions of billions of dollars, and then a bunch of, you know, shit happened. They went woke and Harvey Weinstein and all that.
Yeah.
And then people have been going down here, there. So now they shifted that money that they already stole into NASA. How's that for a conspiracy?
So then why are they taxing us for?
Well, I mean, that's what the government does.
They
They want to steal more money. That's why.
We're a bunch of
They
suckers.
want to launder more money. It's just people aren't watching Hollywood. They, you know, the Hollywood money laundering machine is broken. So now they have to turn on the NASA machine again and move everything over.
Yeah,
Have you ever
this-
noticed that when they show you images, there are no stars?
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think about how light functions, how any light functions, the fact that the light is still coming to us for millions of years, even if that star is dead, we're still seeing a dead star. When you're out in space or when they're doing their little moon thing or whatever, technically we should see stars and they should be even brighter than what
Right,
they
'cause
are,
they're
but they're
cooler.
not. And I've always wondered what their excuse is for that. And that's the only thing that ever made me actually go, ooh, I don't know if we ever did this shit.
But they said it themselves that they edit the photo. So I guess
And they
that could
edit
be
the
it.
stars out?
Yeah. Tell you what, have you guys ever seen these Apollo rockets in real life? They're huge. I mean, they're like, I've got a picture where I'm standing next to one and you can barely see me. I mean, they're almost the size of buildings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're huge.
Did you guys want to see any of these reels from Buzz Aldrin?
Yeah.
If you want to, and then we can move back to the dinosaur topic because I know, you know.
I just want to touch on a comment real quick while Jimmy's pulling stuff up. If we were to ever colonize Mars, do we take our own religious
saw
texts
that.
from Earth, or do we make our own religions?
I saw that.
think we should just build a statue of Ruby, put it on Mars, and then let historians try and figure out what the hell is going on.
No. We
Well, the
rename
Indian-
it. We rename it, and we don't colonize it. How about that?
You know what I heard? That they consulted Stanley Kubrick about the landing on the moon. So that's I thought that was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He produced it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick produced the whole moon landing thing.
Oh, wow.
He admitted on his deathbed.
Oh,
Well,
thank
you know
Jay.
what? You know what? Good for him. Good for him. He had a successful career and he made a lot of money. I'm proud
Yeah,
of
he
him.
did. Thank you.
All right, so let's play one of these
All right,
clips and
go ahead. Yeah,
see what old Buzz had to say.
Let's look at the photo. You say that's me? Okay. Check out the name badge. It says Aldrin. Looks like you're right. But notice the helmet. Can you see my face? No. This is a secret I've been keeping for almost half a century. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and I pulled off humanity's first extraterrestrial prank.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. Money is a good thing. If you want to buy new things, new rockets, instead of keep doing the same thing over, then it's going to cost more money. And other things need more money too. So having achieved what the president wanted us to do, and then what thousands, millions of people in America and millions of people around the world. You know, when we toured around the world after we came back, the most fascinating observation was signs that said, we did it. Not just us, not just America, but we, the world, different countries. They felt like they were part of what we were able to do. And that made us feel very good.
You know what? I want to just touch real quick on that last thing that he said.
I'll jump in after.
Yeah, that we felt like we did it, that it was a whole world thing. Didn't they use that same playbook during CV and the whole jabby jab thing? That, oh, we did this, we're stopping this, we're saving you. Didn't they already use that playbook? Isn't that kind of similar? My opinion, it is, but what do y'all think?
I think, Ed, this is, God, I'm going to become a Christian because of the alcohol. But this just reminds me from what I remember talking about in church, like growing up in church, about like the one world government, right? Because it's more than just the one world government coming to rule the people. It's the people elevating themselves to participate in the one world government, saying, we did this together. We broke, whatever it is. We broke religion. We broke we broke nationalism. We did it together. And like, I've always kind of wondered, seeing the footage of like even people in like fucking India and like other like developing nations that didn't even exist back then. They're all like, we did it. What the fuck did you do? Like,
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect, but I mean, that's just reality of it, right?
Right.
So that just kind of hit.
So yeah, I think is what he said is just like a money thing to make new rockets. But if that was the truth, then why not just tell the American people the truth? We need money to build more technology and rockets, and we're not going anywhere. Why is it so hard?
Because it doesn't sell. It doesn't sell. Like if I were to come to you guys and be like, hey guys, this is what I want to do. Can you guys give me money? As opposed to like throwing flashy shit.
But they don't have to ask us. They don't have to ask us. They could ask the billionaires. I mean, that's what they do. So why are you asking us? Why can't you ask the people who are
Because
actually in that?
there's an economic part to this, because they have to take the money from the American citizens to prop up their fiat system. This is just another way, because the fiat Federal Reserve System, it's only designed to last 30, maybe 40 years. So they have to have an injection of funds to come in so that they can prop that system up.
But they're going to take it anyway, Jimmy. They're going to print more anyway. So what does it matter? Once again, it's a story for nothing when they're going to do it anyways.
Well, they can print their money, but they're also going to make us broke and dependent on them. That's what they want to do.
That's what I'm trying to say. Do your thing without us. Why you got to include us?
Because they want control over us.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's where I disagree.
We're the cattle.
Yeah, no. I mean, they could do whatever they want. I don't care. Science projects. If you want to be Iron Man, go right ahead. Don't do it with me. I don't want nothing to do with that. That's none of my business. I just want to be regular, get married, have children, go to school, go to work.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ruby. If they want to do this, fund your own stuff. Don't take it from the American citizens.
Exactly.
That's a crowdsource it. I mean, there's 330 million Americans. I'm pretty sure you can find 10 million people to give you $20.
Exactly.
Yeah. Create a GoFundMe page.
If Paula, what's her name? Paula White. If she could do it, then anybody can do it. So what's like
Joel Osteen.
Yo,
go. I'm sorry. Say that again, D.
Oh, nothing. I'm just bullshitting. I said, create on the hell out of it. I mean,
All right.
giving you $20, that's a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, that settles that. I mean, I guess it's real, whatever. I mean, I don't care. Once again, we could barely afford gas, groceries, and the school systems are all messed up. Why do I care what's in the sky? But okay, I digress. Now, dinosaurs.
Going back to those.
Beau,
subject that we just can't stay on.
I know this is you know what, the UPC is the embodiment, I guess, of my bipolarism, if you want to call it that.
well, I mean, Ruby. Here's Ruby. Here's. I am not surprised you made that statement whatsoever. But I mean, dinosaurs. Do you guys think there are dinosaurs on the moon? Like,
no, and they're not on Venus either. So sorry, J-Dubs.
Oh no.
Wait, is that an actual thing?
Yes.
Is that an actual thing?
Yes.
You serious?
One of the really old teachings that's out there that's really hard, and I had the quotes and stuff buried, but it's a really stupid belief system they had way back in the day.
What was that?
I mean, that makes sense. I was being stupid to be funny, and apparently I hit
They
it
used
right
to
on
believe
the
that
mark.
there were dinosaurs on Venus.
Oh, brother.
I mean, hey, I wanted to talk about dinosaurs, so go right ahead. Tell me all about it. I think they're fake. I don't think they're real.
Really?
Honestly,
How the hell am I agreeing with Ruby so much tonight on this show? Like two religions, and I'm agreeing with her all the way down.
So you don't think that like dinosaur bones are real? You think like what
No.
are they then?
I don't know. They made
They're
it
just-
up. It's
They're
another
just
story.
carving things out of the rock, or
Jimmy, go ahead.
I've got, hold on, where's it at? Where's my...
what about like saber-toothed tigers and mammoth? And
Yeah,
all
that's
the things
different.
that-
Yeah, that's different. That's different. Those are like extinct, animals.
Well, I mean, the thing with dinosaurs, this is just my anecdote here. I find it really interesting that dinosaur fossils were found only in recent human history. But in many cultures like India or even here in Mongolia, like there are verbal oral traditions passed down for literally thousands of years, and there's nothing about dinosaurs existing.
Right. But
There's
dragons,
stories
yes.
about dragons.
Yes, dragons, yes. That's what Jimmy said last
Well, I mean
Tuesday.
that's basically what a dinosaur would be to a primitive
No,
people. I mean,
no,
that's
no,
what the
no,
term
no, no,
is.
no, no, no.
Dinosaur is just a modern term, but a dragon is what basically dinosaurs
No,
are.
the dinosaurs is a triad.
I mean,
Dragons
even in
is
Japanese culture,
No,
even in
it's not
Japanese
true.
culture, they're fundamentally different because dragons have like supernatural aspects to them. They have powers.
well, they could have added
Well,
that on to embellish
yeah,
the
I mean,
story,
they're
but
coy,
dragons
they go
definitely
upstream and
existed.
transform and transcend.
Right. That's different.
Yeah.
No.
Well, do you think that
I've got a
transformers and the
video.
dinosaurs are related? That's the question.
If dinosaurs are related to who?
To
To who?
dragons.
B? To dragons?
To
No.
To
Well, you know
imagine
what?
dragons.
I think they incorporated the lie with the truth because it's easier to sell. But the bigger psyop is all these dinosaurs and fossil fuels and then the global warming. It all comes together, which is why I reject it.
Yeah, I got a couple of reels that we could watch real quick and get reaction from if you guys. I got two that look pretty good. So let me share my screen.
Can I let everybody
Go
know
ahead.
that I came from Arlington, Massachusetts, and we had a pond called Spy Pond, and they found a mammoth tusk in the pond, and today it's in the Museum of Science.
Nice.
Yeah, I believe in mammoths and
Yeah, it was huge. They found, yeah. And now
Joseph
it's in the
just
Museum of
joined
Science.
us. Really quickly, Joseph, chime in.
Joseph.
What about the DNA they found in dinosaurs?
They did. I agree with that too.
I don't know about that, Beau, so you would have to send me.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
I don't know about that.
I'll just throw it. So basically, there's this whole thing. They don't know how to explain it, but they found a dinosaur fossil. They broke it down, and it was like squishy, and
Yes.
they found actual DNA in it.
Yep, they did.
And they don't. And the whole thing is, well, dinosaurs are millions and millions of years. How can DNA survive for millions and millions of years?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They existed, but not the psyop, not the propaganda. So that's what I'm saying. I reject the storyline behind it. May
I quote the
use
scriptures? If anybody, how does everybody feel about me reading Job 40? I'm going to read what God says. Okay, Job 40 says, "Behold the behemoth," and that was how do you pronounce it, Beau? Behemoth. Which I made as I made you. He eats grass like an ox. Behold, his strength is in his loins, his power in his muscles of his belly. He makes his tail stiff like a cedar. The sinews of his thighs are knit together. His bones are tubes of bronze. His limbs are like bars of iron. He is the first of my works of God. Let him who made him bring near his sword. For the mountain yield food for him where all the wild beasts play. So that's what God says about behemoth. And then in Job 41, he talks about the I don't know how the levy.
Leviathan. It's Leviathan. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Beau. And that's supposed to be a dragon, and that's what it was called. And that's in the Job 41.
Yep.
Oh, it says right here, you can draw out the Leviathan with a fish hook, or press down his tongue with a cord. You can put a rope in his nose and pierce his jaw with a hook. And so it goes on and on and on about the dragon.
Is there something about like the tail is the size of a cedar tree?
Or it was like the sea. Yeah, I heard that. It was.
Yeah. So I mean so a
big
cedar
animal.
tree that goes beyond any actual animal that exists today to have that part of the body be the size of a cedar tree.
Did it say size of a cedar tree or like a cedar tree?
I'm trying to read it.
Reading it from the Jewish language.
This is my old King James Bible when I was a little girl. It's a 1611 King James Bible.
Yeah.
Nice.
We need like a Septuagint, but you can look at it and what the Jews were saying in their language, they were describing it as being the size of a cedar tree. So to me, my opinion is it sounds like they're describing something that would be like a brachiosaurus.
A very big animal.
Yeah.
Okay. At the least, a very big animal, a beast.
I don't think elephants don't have. It's not. I mean, an elephant is probably the largest land animal, or is the largest land animal.
Yeah,
and it's not the size of a cedar tree.
No.
No, it says that about the behemoth.
You know, there is a theory out there that before all the trees were taken down, that's a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down. But before all the trees were chopped down by the Nephilim or angels or whatever, that the earth carried more oxygen. And because the earth carried more oxygen, that meant that there could be larger animals, there could be larger human beings that could have been on this earth. That's a theory out there.
Sure, but I don't think they were dinosaurs. I think they were just creatures, mammals or animals.
Yeah,
or whatever.
anatomically. Well, I mean, so here's the thing.
I think that's a good point, Jimmy. I never thought about Nephilim in relation.
Well, yeah, because like reptiles,
interesting.
Yeah, like reptiles with the like increased oxygen, they get bigger.
Yeah.
So I can see that like hypothesis.
Yeah, dinosaurs have hollow bones also, like a bird.
Mm-hmm.
So that allows for more oxygen. It's a more
Hey
efficient.
guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here for the night, but I just want to say thank you, Ruby, and thank you. Jim.
It was nice having you. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice having you on, dude.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Good night.
All right, yeah. If you want, just go ahead and log me off.
All right, have a good night. Oh, that was nice.
If you would like to see dinosaurs, their skeletons, the Peabody Museum in Cambridge, Massachusetts has a whole museum full of the dinosaur bones. And they're unbelievable. And they have a huge dinosaur egg there as well. So if you ever come to Massachusetts, go to Cambridge to the Peabody Museum, and they have a huge section of dinosaur bones. And it's you should see the size of this mammoth. I mean, you could put like a whole football field inside it. So
What about the DNA reversal that they did with, like, there's a certain species, there's a Chinese chicken that is the oldest known species of chicken, and they went into its ancient DNA and activated it, and it started growing limbs and stuff like a dinosaur and teeth.
Stop.
When you said
Oh, I think I did see a clip like
there's a
that.
joke in here somewhere. You're making jokes somewhere in here.
No, are you for real, Beau? You dead ass?
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. This is not even new. We did this a long ass time ago.
Okay,
I mean, I literally
did see
have
a
the
clip.
video about it in my drawer over here.
Were they cloning it or were they resurrecting
No,
it?
it's not a clone. What they're doing? So your
They're-
DNA,
they're
you hold your DNA.
manipulating DNA. That's what
Yeah, you're taking DNA that's not
okay.
active, and then you're causing it to activate.
It's
And so that's what
Jurassic
agent
Park,
DNA.
basically.
Yes,
Dr.
like,
Moreau's
let's do
Island.
it. Yeah.
Did you watch that movie, Ruby, Dr. Moreau's Island?
Oh my word.
Oh, yeah,
I
that was
have
crazy.
not. I have not.
I thought you were going to watch it.
I know, and I was, and I totally
Watch
forgot.
party.
Yeah, we're gonna do that on Discord. If anybody wants to join, we're gonna go to the XJW Friends server. We're gonna do movie night. What's today? Tuesday, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So Saturday. Okay, Saturday. No, not Saturday. No. Okay, so it's gonna have to be next week, guys. So sorry because this week is Pascha. So we're still celebrating Easter and stuff. So
Do we want to play a couple of these dragon dinosaur clips and talk about those? And then bring
Yeah.
it home? Do we want
How
to do
long-
You
that?
should
How
play
long-
Imagine Dragons.
Oh yeah. How long are you going to be on for?
about 30 more minutes because
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Okay,
midnight.
I'm going
soon.
to jump off. Can I make an announcement?
Sure.
Do you all know the Fran and Joe shows tomorrow night's their last show?
Yeah.
I did not know that until recently. Does anybody know why?
What happened was they announced it like the last 5 minutes of their show, and I said, I said, you've got to do a farewell for people because there was a lot of people that weren't on their show, and I said people need closure. So Joe and Fran agreed to do it because I said I had mixed feelings when they just said it the last 5 minutes and that was it, and I'm like, wait a minute, you have to have closure. You formed attachments with people. And
Definitely. Yeah.
we need to have a proper, send off. So it's going to be this Wednesday. It'll be their last show.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, they're still gonna do videos, I'm sure. Like they're still gonna have their
It won't be
channel.
like their show. So, Beau,
Right.
Yeah.
would you be interested in taking over Fran and Joe's show?
Taking over their
No,
show.
we're not letting him go.
Well, no, he can do it. You are too, but
I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't be able to. I don't even have time to operate my own show. I have
Okay.
another YouTube channel that has nothing to do with this that I run that I make money off of,
okay.
Yeah.
and I don't tell anybody what it is
No, it's all right. You don't have to.
because I
I
don't want
wanted
people
you to do it
destroying
because of your technical expertise.
It-
Yeah.
it- if they reach out to me and I won't take over the show. I have my show, my old one. I could do subject matter that they asked me to, but I don't have a whole lot of time, honestly. The only other time that I make is for Ruby's show. Like I do other things. This is like my time with my homies.
Right.
Yeah, I know
definitely.
Ruby and Jimmy, you have your own show, so
Yeah, I'll be honest.
But we
I
might
appreciate it.
expand. We might expand, and I do know like Shannon and John Briggs also have their own show, so we just have to fill in the slot. So if anybody's interested, Wednesday night 7 p.m. there's an audience, so we can definitely fulfill it.
Can I contact you offline? Because I have some ideas.
Yeah, you could DM me on Discord if you're on there, or you can email me. I'll put my email in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Good night, everyone, and have a wonderful
Good
week.
night, Joe.
Thank you for your dinosaur info.
Huh?
I might have to.
Thank you for the dinosaur info.
Thank you for the sharing that. Y'all ever been
I might have to start another
ever
YouTube
heard
channel.
Y'all ever heard of
Speaking about theories of dinosaurs, have you heard the theories about Enoch and the Watchers?
Yep.
When
We touched
they
on it.
corrupted all flesh on the earth.
Yeah.
And they corrupted by creating dinosaurs.
I have not heard that theory.
Yeah, I just heard about
Ruby,
this.
I'll get your email address off of Jimmy, okay?
Okay, yep.
All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you
Have
very
a good
much.
night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
As far as the moon is concerned, China has a program called the Chang. Like we have the Artemis, we had Apollo program, the Mercury program. Well, they have the Chang program, and Chang 9 is going to be where they actually put their people on the moon. They've been mining for helium-3, which is a very rare isotope that is mostly found on the moon, and it's used for coal fusion. If they could actually mine it and bring it back to the earth, they will be ahead of everybody when it comes to energy. So that's the race to the moon is helium-3. That's why we want to go to the moon. It's the minerals. It's the mineral. A very rare a mineral that is very valuable, and it can be used for nuclear power without nuclear waste or radiation. Cold.
I got a question. I got a question just because I'm just like, all right, so if no one's been to the moon, how would they know? I mean, what kind of equipment do they use to be able to test minerals on the moon?
Robotically. They've been doing it. They have been doing it since 2004. Robotically. Now the robots could only mine for samples. But it's for like 2030 or 2029 where they actually going to start building a base on the moon so that they could mine for helium-3.
They could use
that's
the samples
conveniently
as well
timed.
Yes, they do this also on Mars, on the Mars probe. They have devices on the probe that
use sonar to do that too.
It digs it up and automatically analyzes it.
Okay, so this is the problem that I have and the dilemma I have when I'm thinking about these things. All right, on one hand, we have it to where it's been said that the firmament was placed above and you can't get past the firmament. All right, we have that argument. And then we have the argument that there's waters above the firmament, and of course below, of course. So if that's true, then that would mean that there is no space that people could go to, right?
Right, correct. But those waters, I don't know what scripture it is, and I have not done research, so don't quote me on it. But supposedly after the flood, that water was gone after that.
Oh,
and the reason why it was gone is because there's water under the Earth's crust.
Do what, Dave?
Yeah, so I saw actually a lot of like scientific things because a gentleman was talking about like mining on the moon. Well, scientists have actually dug further in the core of the Earth, and what they found is actually massive bodies of water.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, so where the water went isn't necessarily up. Some of it did, like, you know, just I forget what the term that just
recede.
It became it became air, right? It just evaporates, but most of it went down back under the Earth.
Right. So supposedly there's no water up there anymore.
That's just the problem I have, because, you know, if we live under a dome and we can't get past a firmament, then how the hell are we coming up with this stuff in space? Somebody's not telling the truth.
I think that's within, though, Jimmy. I think the sun and the moon and all the stars are within the.
Oh, the sun. Oh, okay, I got you. So the sun. So
they
that
can't
were the
pass
case.
it.
If that were the case, they wouldn't be as big as they're trying to say they are.
Right, like those galaxies and everything. I believe all that's false because it's not true. Whatever is under what we see, that's it. There is no further than that. What they say, all these thousands and millions of galaxies that have other Earths just like ours. I think that's all lie, because you can't pass that firmament.
Yeah, there's no way of knowing. There's no way of knowing because you can't even see that far with a telescope.
Yeah, I'm leaning more to the thought of the Earth actually being bigger than what we were told,
right?
And that these other planets or environments or whatever are other places on the Earth.
In the Earth, I think.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, in the Earth.
Hunter.
Yeah. So like you get past the ice wall, you have another civilization. You get past that one, then you got Mars. Then you go somewhere else, you got some other place. I don't know.
There's a Japanese show called Hunter x Hunter, and it's actually based upon what you're saying.
Ooh,
really?
I'm gonna write that down. Okay, Hunter. I'm gonna put that in the chat just so everybody.
I heard it was really good. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But you know what, Jimmy? That's a great question that you bring that up, because that's a part of Christianity / science that I have not touched yet. I haven't touched it yet. So I still have a lot of people to ask and a lot of research to do, biblically speaking, but also secular, because I want to know how the science.
Secularly, it would make sense if the sun and the moon were inside the firmament, just from the. And I'll keep this really simple, but basically the physics required to launch a rocket into low orbit is intense. And then you have to navigate through that low orbit, through that atmosphere, right? Now, if the moon was outside of this firmament, it could not impact the tides at all. Correct. Because it would be outside the gravitational thing, would just bounce off.
There we go. So you see, like that's what I'm talking about. Using all of that critical thinking, logic, reason, then the scriptures, and then just science itself. I want to see how all of that can come together, because the way I grew up was my mom dictating to me that everything in science is fake. So I grew up with that mentality. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm reconciling that. I'm still deconstructing a lot. So I never grew up with that scientific stuff. I never believed in it. Like, oh, absolutely everything was fake. Like legit. She was fanatic. So I need to come back. I need to revisit that. So I will soon. Definitely.
It'd be a fun Discord convo to have. One thing I did want to bring up to Joseph's point as well, and this is what I was saying earlier. It's really convenient that China and the United States by 2030 are trying to mine helium-3 for nuclear power, when conveniently the United Nations wants to make 15-minute cities. After all, these 15-minute cities need to be powered, and these AI systems because we have digital ID here in Asia, right? That's powered by AI, and let me tell you, that requires a lot of power, right?
Mhm.
Kind of convenient that we're coming to the point where, hey, wait a second, we really need to start mining a lot of resources right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, helium-3 is a good source for that.
So is thorium, which is also on the moon, but thorium is in very small quantities on the Earth. You can power a nuclear facility, like a nuclear reactor, for 25 years using, I think it's like a quarter size of thorium. It's just extremely rare and extremely time consuming to mine on Earth.
Okay, Jimmy, did you have a clip you wanted to share? Because we have like 10 minutes left if you wanted to.
Well, it's going back to the dragons and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Are we done with that?
I think so. I mean, yeah, final thoughts. And if anybody wants to chime in, final thoughts, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm not gonna share screen on that because we're kind of
Yep.
Get the whole dragon thing.
Oh, Jimmy, hold on.
What?
Okay, aside from everything, so you know that outro song with Gerard?
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you, it would really suck if he ended up being on one of the files and we have him on the freaking outro.
Well, see, I think when that was made, I mean, because it's not technically him; it just looks like him.
Stop it! It's
I didn't
him.
create it. I didn't. Y'all know.
I know that, but I didn't think you were gonna use somebody in Hollywood. Like, hello. So I'm just saying. It would really suck if he came out to be in a freaking file. That's all I'm saying. So that might have to be neutralized.
I'll just say I have not. Out of all the stuff that I've looked at and all the names that I've seen associated with it, I've not seen his name anywhere.
Okay, hopefully.
Just
I'm just
saying.
saying.
I've seen a bunch of names.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just hope.
Whatever. I'm on the record.
We have to redo an outro after that. We'll do that.
Go. Hold on, Joseph. Say that again.
Has he been to a Diddy party?
Let's do a quick search.
There's Diddy, there's Weinstein, there's J-Lo.
Yeah, there's a lot, man.
The question is, which one's the worst?
Oof.
Oh, it's kind of hard. I think they're all.
Ariana Grande.
All right, let's see.
I mean, I don't know.
She's into some really dark stuff, like Megan Fox.
Yeah, Megan Fox is definitely a weirdo.
But there is that witch. I don't even know her name. She was with Jay-Z with the freaky nails and the freaky makeup, and she's a witch, some old lady.
Doja Cat?
No, I don't know her name. Jimmy knows who I'm talking about.
All right, hang on. There is no information in the search results linking Gerard Butler to the freak off events or the specific allegations that later surfaced regarding Diddy. He was present at a party in Miami hosted by Sean Diddy Combs around New Year's period in late 2008. However, these events in the late 2000s were widely known as high-profile celebrity parties and industry networking spots in Miami during that era. Not so. So,
yeah, that's what they all say, but we don't know for sure. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's going to be an issue or not. I just want to let everybody know that I didn't make it, and if we can neutralize that somehow, I would do something different and not include anybody in Hollywood. I don't know, but we're gonna keep it for now because it was a gift. But I'm just saying, I'm on a record. So I don't know.
You could just go the nostalgic route for an outro. Nostalgic route, like Toby Mac or something from like when a lot of us were in high school.
But I don't want nobody in Hollywood, bro. I don't trust nobody in Hollywood.
Toby Mac in Hollywood? Are you serious?
No. Okay, hold on. Maybe I'm too young. Who is that?
Toby Mac. He was like a big actual Christian music star in the mid 2000s when I was in high school.
I'm too. I don't know. I'm not.
Okay. I don't trust none of those big shot Christian movies.
Well, he used to be good because back then he was like indie, but I don't know how big he is now.
Oh, I got a good one. I trust Mel Gibson. I mean, if we want to use Mel, I trust that guy. So
I like Mel Gibson.
Jimmy,
yeah, I like Mel Gibson.
Why you put your eyebrows up like that?
Who?
You. When I said Mel Gibson, you put your eyebrows up. What? Is there something with Mel?
I like Mel.
Oh, okay. I was about to say because I thought you were going to say something about Mel.
No. I don't really have an issue with Mel Gibson.
Okay. Because I like him. I like him.
I hope he stays on. Hope his nose is clean.
Hopefully.
Yeah, stay away from that alcohol.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So if anybody wants to start, go ahead. Any final thoughts? Go right ahead.
Dallas. Let's start with Dallas.
What's the subject next week?
Don't know yet.
We don't think that far.
No.
The way it goes.
What about aliens? What about all the stuff about aliens?
Yeah, aliens. We talked about aliens last time, I think.
They're all about it. They're demons by the vice president, and then oh gosh, I was gonna send it to you, but I got lazy, Ruby, and I forgot.
Okay.
But
It's okay. I feel you.
Congressman Tim Birch said that aliens are real, and he's part of the actual I forgot what you call it, the committee of investigating it.
Yeah, and JD says something too, right? So
yeah, he said they're demons.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll do that for conspiracy hour. I'm not sure what we're gonna talk about beforehand. I can't think that far. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't plan nothing for these types of shows. Okay, I just
a lot of times we wait to see what pops off in the news in the next 72 hours, and then we're like, oh my goodness, let's cover
aliens are actually here to abduct our dinosaur bones.
No. Now humans, yes, I do believe that.
Why don't they just abduct the liberals?
Yeah, right.
Well, they want the best and most competent human beings, and that is not where you're getting it.
Good point.
I mean, if you're gonna genetically engineer a biochemical machine, a liberal is a bad choice for artificial intelligence.
Yeah, but
bad choice
for sure.
genetics.
But so are the obese people in frickin' Georgia and Alabama that claim they get abducted. They're not ideal either.
I think those are demon possessions anyway, so they're not real, in my opinion. So
that was my last thought, just so you guys know. Thank you.
I get it.
Okay, thank you, Beau. Thank you for joining. Dallas, give us your last thoughts. Come on, we got to wrap it up. Go ahead.
Well, I think that I got something about that. What Gail was talking about. Y'all ever heard of the Creation Museum in Ark Encounter? I've been curious about that. I've seen it on YouTube inside, but never been there and heard of that some churches go there in groups.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google that. I don't think I know what.
And I think, about this, you talk about aliens, and how. And that drag shows and drag queens, that's just, I don't support that.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think that, and about when Leonard, he said, I'm happy that you recommended that he stay down south.
Yeah. Oh my God! Do not move to New York, please. Whatever you do.
Even the Midwest, you're better off in as well.
Yeah.
Wall Street's leaving.
Yeah.
Ruby, are you going to key up the outro, or you want me to key it up?
Oh yeah. What? Sure, I can do it. It's on your page?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel. Let's try yours because my sound. You said my sound was kind of off a little bit last week.
A little bit.
Thank you, Dallas.
Yeah. Thank you, Dallas. And
Joseph.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say it was nice to see Diasiss on tonight.
Yeah.
I liked him when he was with the round table. And it was good to see him tonight.
Yeah, it really was. He was a spontaneous guest, for real. Like he texted me a few days ago, and I said,
"Well, I hope he comes back.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Joseph. Thank you for joining.
Dave.
like I said before, I never thought I'd agree with Ruby so much in one night, but stranger things happen, I guess. I think hell just froze over. That
Yeah,
was a good
and you said that last Tuesday too, if you don't remember, but it's becoming a pattern. I think I'm growing on you.
Well, I mean, I think it's because now, even though like our religion is different, I think like just because we are so conservative, like we naturally align on so many things. Because like at least politically, like we're both very much against Islam. Maybe for different reasons, but we're both against Islam.
Right,
We're
correct.
both against, drag shows in public. Again, probably
Yeah.
for different reasons, but we still have that agreement, right? I would argue, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. I would argue you're like me, and you are actually very much against abortion for a different reason than I am.
Yeah.
Because from real quick, the Hindu side, right? There's the concept of reincarnation, right? And
I see.
and it's not, and again, there's multiple lenses across the board, so not everyone believes this, but I am of the camp, if you will, that engaging in an abortion interferes with the karmic cycle, the life lessons a soul is trying to learn. They're trying to come back.
That makes sense.
To make atone for that, to atone for their past. And by interfering with that, or excuse me, by doing an abortion, you're interfering with that.
That's a good point. I never
Yeah,
thought about that. But that actually makes sense to me.
I think it's just a different explanation because it's just a different worldview, but we would say the same thing, but more like legalistic, like you're ending a life, therefore it's murder, like simple, because that's what even our laws state. So it's not, you can make a biblical argument, but if you're just talking pure law, I mean, you could even make the easiest one, the easiest argument for that.
Yep.
So my last thoughts, I want to piggyback on what Dave said right there, because it's actual, him agreeing with Ruby on some things this evening and last week. We've made the statement many times that we as individuals, we probably agree on about 80 to 85% of things out there. It's the other 10 to 15, 20, maybe 20% of stuff that we may not agree on, that people tend to focus on that 10, 15 to 20%, and it creates a division. They can't come together on anything. So I'm happy to see that even though there are vast differences between the three of our opinions, we can come together on many different subjects, and a lot more than we really thought we may have had in common with somebody. So I think it's a very valuable lesson to learn as you go about talking to your family and friends. Instead of beating a dead horse about Trump this, Trump that, other things, find out what you do agree on and build a foundation from there. And then that way, when you explain why you believe a certain thing, or why your friend or neighbor or family member believes a certain thing, you can actually sit there and listen to hear what they're saying, because that can create, some understanding. And you still may not agree. I mean, hell, me and Diasiss, we disagree on a lot of stuff. There's no doubt about it. We have had some heated conversations in the past, but there are a lot of things we do agree upon. So are we going to focus on the bad stuff or try to build something to where we can actually communicate with one another? So I just want to say that's what I love about this show, that we're not an echo chamber. I appreciate the chat so very much. And, I know myself and Ruby, we may not be everybody's cup of tea, but that's okay. Because honestly, for me, the way I'm in my life right now, this is kind of a personal note. I don't care what you think of me anymore. I do this because I love humanity and I just want to try to help folks. So people can talk all the smack they want about me. I don't give a damn. Get that through y'all's heads. So with that, I'm done.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for everybody in the chat. I mean, this was the 100th episode of the UPC. That's crazy. I've been streaming like this for 2 years. Okay. And we've only brought ourselves, our personality, our thoughts, our opinions, our politics, sometimes religion, sometimes conspiracy theorists, but it wouldn't be this way if it wasn't for the chat, like people joining, people talking, people sharing, people being here. You know what I'm saying? Like we feed off of all of our energies. And I love that. I have so much fun every Tuesday night when Jimmy calls me. I'm like, Jimmy, we're going to have a great night. Like I could already tell we're going to have such a great night. Like it's super fun just to be on here and to like show you my crazy side. Like I can't do this in real life. No, honest, I can't do this. I can't talk like this in real life. I can't go to church and talk to people like this. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like this is the only place I could really be me and show you the crazy conspiracy side and the roller coaster of emotions that I go through. I could only do it here. Like we're
that's sad. Just hear me out. Like it's a good thing that you can be yourself here. I'm saying it's sad that you cannot be yourself in church when you're authentically living the Christian lifestyle. Does that make sense?
I can be myself, but I don't be yelling the way I do. I don't be looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna judge me. They're gonna be like, "Yo, be careful with Ruby over there." You know what I'm saying? Like, I am like
you let your hair down here.
Exactly. And I could bring out that side without feeling the judgment or like, because when I go to church, I'm not there to be making problems. You know what I'm saying? I'm there to pray. So they're going to see a different side of me, right? But here, I'm not here to pray. I'm not here to confess. I'm not here for none of that. So you get you get a different side. And then Discord gets a different side of me. You know what I'm saying? It's like different. But here is where I can really be like, on fire. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see what you're like stuck in traffic.
I'm quiet. I disassociate myself and I put the music on. Like I don't have a problem with the Matrix sometimes when it comes to things like that. But when we come here, which is why I was getting so upset that the stream was messing up, is because this is the only place that I could scream about things. And then it was glitching on me. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to put a leash on me, which is why we come here and we say whatever we want to say. We do whatever we want to do. And anybody can come up in here if they are brave enough to do so. You know what I'm saying? And Jimmy was
respectful.
Exactly. And Jimmy was the only guy that could handle me. You know what I'm saying? Like Jimmy was the only guy on the internet who was with me, even though I didn't know him. And then when he came on here, he's the only one that we can really like bounce back and forth without getting too crazy or, him like not, I'm not going to talk to you ever again. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people did that to me. So Jimmy's the only one that could really handle me. So I got to give it up to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm crazy, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like I am no longer going to put that JW filter or, like a cap on the things I say. As long as it's, within the bounds of YouTube, we're good, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're good. So anyways, I love what we got here.
I tell Ruby all the time I enjoy working with her. I'm getting ready to be 53 here in May, and she's what? You're 30, 31? I mean,
I'm 29, Jimmy.
29? I apologize.
I'm gonna have an anxiety attack because my birthday.
I thought you were 29 last year.
No, I'm 29. I'm turning 30 this year, bro. I'm gonna have an anxiety attack. Yes, no, dead ass. Like if you guys know me, you guys know that birthdays give me anxiety attacks.
So what I was saying though, that's just an odd combination. It's like I'm old enough to be her dad.
Yeah, you are.
But the way we operate, it's really cool, and I really enjoy it. So I just want to say thank you, Ruby.
Yeah,
well, you're old enough to be my dad. Technically, you'd be young, but you're technically old enough to.
How old are you, Dave?
37.
Yeah, I'd have to be young. I'd have to be like 16.
Damn.
So 15, 16. And so it's possible.
What's the damn for? Do I look that old, really?
Do what?
No, I'm just saying. Well, Jimmy would have to be so young. Like, hello. What?
Man, I had somebody at work tell me today. Usually when I'm working, I have to ask what my customers' ages are. And so they'll tell me to guess. And then I guess, and I'm usually pretty good about that. But then I had one of them today. I said, well, why don't you guess my age? She broke my heart, y'all. She said I usually get like 4 or 5 years younger than I really am. But this one said 60? I'm like, what the?
No, I
fuck?
wouldn't even guess that. I wouldn't. I was like 55 at least.
I was like, are you kidding me? I am not 60. He's like, well, I was going off the gray in your beard. I'm like, dude, if I shave this off, I'll look 10 years younger. So anyway, I'm not going to have them guess my age again. So
yeah. All right, guys. So I got the intro. So here we go. We're gonna play it. Have a good night, everybody. Okay, so next Tuesday, I don't know what we're gonna talk about yet, but whenever I figure it out, or Jimmy, let me know what you feel. We'll have the stream up and ready. Yeah, next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully everything's okay in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen after tonight, but we'll see.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
All right. Good night, everybody. Good night, Jimmy. Good night, Dave.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Dallas.
Good night, Ruby. Good night,
Good morning.
Thank you, everybody that was on the panel.
Leonard. Yep. All right. Good night, everybody.
They said I lost my mind, said I was chasing ghosts and shadows. I showed them what I'd find, but they just laughed and called me hollow. Tinfoil on my head, they said conspiracy delusion. Every word I said was buried under their confusion, but I could feel it in my bones. A reckoning was coming. I'd rather bleed and stand alone than pretend I wasn't seeing something. Call me crazy, call me broken, call me every name you've spoken. Paranoid, deranged, and blind, but I had something on my mind. Now the curtain's torn wide open. Every word I said is proven. Who's crazy now? Let the record show. Wide awake while you were in the show. They cost me friends, they cost me sleep. Call me unhinged at the dinner table. They rolled their eyes so goddamn deep. Said I was broken and unstable. Lost my job for speaking out. Got unfriended for the questions. Every time I raised my doubt, they made it therapy, they suggested. But I kept burning through the night, connecting every dot they missed. The only question left was when I left. And now they get this. Call me crazy, call me broken, call me every name you've spoken. Paranoid, deranged, and blind, but I had something on my mind. Now the curtain's torn wide open. Every word I said is proven. Who's crazy now? Let the record show. Wide awake while you were in the show. You call me crazy. You call me lost. You call me lost, but you never counted the cost. Silencing the ones who see before the rest already. You buried us in ridicule, but truth don't shake so easy. Now the world is cracking open, and the shock is written on your face. And I know you want an answer for how you got so taken in this place. Well, I can say I told you so. God knows I've earned the right, but I held this torch for all of us. Not to prove I'm right, but to give you light. I'm not here to burn you down or tell you that you failed me. I know how deep this rabbit hole goes. I know how bad the fool can feel. I was once exactly where you're standing, shaking in the story they were handing. So take my hand, I'll walk beside you. There's a way to step outside this. Now you're questioning, now you're waking. Feel the ground beneath you shaking. Truth is heavy, truth is hard, but you don't have to carry it alone. We were crazy, now we're proven, and the world is finally moving. No, I told you so. Just take my hand. Let's walk out of this darkness while we can. forced to bleed. Now the world needs all of us, every soul that dared to see. Come on, come on, come on, come on.